check. I will double check.
Double check, triple check for me, because it's not a DNC live stream without audio issues. Hello.
Correct.
Hello.
All right, we are live. So
I don't hear audio yet.
You don't hear audio yet? Oh no! Please hear audio.
This is not good.
Oh God, no audio.
I hear you.
You hear me? Do you hear
Okay.
Lynn?
How come I can't hear me?
I don't hear Lynn.
You don't hear Lynn? Oh no.
I don't hear anybody on my iPad. Let me see.
Wait a minute.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Oh,
It's because you have
we can check and hear you.
Jack in here. All right, let me just double check. Lynn, say words.
I'm saying words. I'm gonna talk about stuff. It's gonna be great. Druids.
Yeah, I hear you on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
Why
You're
isn't
weird.
my iPod audio working then?
I don't know.
That's concerning.
It is concerning. All right, well, we're live and our audio is working, so that's a miracle. So, hey guys, welcome to Demiplanes and Doodles. I'm Vic. There's also Lynn, and we have Tabitha acting as our chat mom, as always.
Yo.
You hear her.
That was aggressive.
She's very aggressive.
Yo!
I thought we were talking West.
Okay. All right. Mom's mad at me, guys.
No, last I checked, West was mad at Mom.
Yeah,
so.
you're correct. West is very mad at Loxa Mom right now. He doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah, so this is our intro.
We like aggro chat, Mom.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Fine.
Hannah.
Wow. All
Are
right.
we
Yeah.
cool?
So we're good now. We're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and officially start because I'm super organized and I have an outline. So let's see if my attention challenge brain can handle this.
You got this.
Do you want to just send
You got this.
Do you wanna
me?
I will send it to you. That's a good idea. Yes. So let's just go ahead and start with our thank you to friends, as we always have. Like our friends at Talon and Claw.
Oh my god.
I am multitasking. Excuse me. It's very hard for me to do this. I'll have you know that anytime I am filling out a job application and they say, "Are you good at multitasking?" I will lie and say yes.
Yeah.
It's like I'm alive.
I'm right. I'm alive. I have somehow.
I can walk and breathe.
I can walk and breathe. I'm multitasking. Okay, so I sent you my agenda.
I see it. It's very nice. You literally just took a picture of the piece of paper.
I am an old man. I don't believe in technology.
From Vic.
Leave me alone. 90% of my inspiration for Ziffer comes from the fact that I am secretly an old man in my soul. All right. So let's go ahead and start from the top with our. We did our intros. Let's do thank you to all of our friends. Thank you to Talon and Claw, who we have all of their Etsy information below. They make dice vaults, they make DM screens, they make dice trays. All beautiful, wonderful wooden products, and they smell really nice too. Just FYI, that's like my favorite.
Appropriate for the Druid theme this evening.
It's appropriate for the Druid theme because we are talking about Druids today.
Druids.
So, get yourself a nice organic dice vault.
Druids.
Druids. Yeah, you know, the Druids. Oh god, that was a really bad D.
There's no such thing as a bad D.
Fair.
Remember, friends, 5 minutes.
That's how we draw that guy, I guess.
He looks good in shades. I like it. Anyway, Talon and Claw.
Yes.
How's it going? Oh my god. Anyway, Talon and Claw. They're awesome. Anyway, you get 10% off if you put the what code is it?
Divine Conquer. You get 10% off on your order when you
which is awesome.
Yeah, when you put in the coupon code. So
Sweet.
their information is down below. If you scroll down on our Twitch, you'll see the link to the Talon Claws Etsy. We also have a link to this cool redhead paladin guy who's also on our Twitch.
Yes.
Man, I can't recall his name for the life of me. Like
nope, that doesn't ring a bell,
no,
bro.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. Anyway, so there's this this redheaded paladin dude who is kind of on an adventure to save the world with his barbarian bro, also a name I can't recall for the life of me. And yeah, together they're gonna fight evil. They're gonna save the day, and they're gonna be a webcomic on Webtoons. So if you scroll down, you will see the link to the Alistair comic. It'll take you.
That's what it was.
Ah, that's the name. It's just right on the tip of my tongue. So yeah, click the link. You'll go to the Patreon. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month, and you get access to the Discord. So you can talk to me and Lynn on the Discord, throw ideas at us. You get little sneak peeks of things because you're super special like that. And we have a new tier on our Patreon.
We do.
We do.
And I believe we should upload something for that.
We should
soon.
What should we upload for that?
Well, I can think of 2 things.
That's a joke no one will get.
Well, the people of the tier will know what that means.
Yes, this is true. The people of that tier will learn what that means. So you will be in on all the zesty inside jokes that Lynn and I make constantly about our characters and characters that we borrow from other creative properties like Sacred World. Plug.
Thank you,
Plug.
Hannah.
Oh my, you actually made a plug. Oh my god.
I did. I did draw a plug. Thank you.
It was good. But yes, Alistair, it's coming this year.
Coming this
year. Year of the bro, y'all.
Year of the bro.
Divine and Conquer also has a merch store.
Oh god, we also have a merch store, guys. Divine and Conquer has a merch store, and I just recently uploaded a new item in the merch store, which is our #blessed D4 t-shirt, which you can get in just like I'll draw it on screen for you. You can get look at this nice t-shirt that I'm drawing here. You can also click the link and you will see a real life better version of it than what I'm drawing here. You get a nice little D4 in the middle of your shirt and it says #blessed underneath.
For all the parties that have a paladin in their party that casts the spell.
Yeah, Alistair's a paladin. Look at that segue we just did.
To remind you all to use your D4 to bless.
Yeah, don't forget.
Because our party tends to forget it a lot.
We forget it all the time. So we made a shirt to remind us. So you can get it in like a regular D4 size, like in the middle, or you can get a little pocket one right there. We also have stickers, mugs, notebooks, all the good things. And we're always looking to, I don't know why I'm drawing Addy as a weird surfer looking bro, but he's here.
He looks like his name would be Chad.
He's apparently dressed like this now. I'm not sorry.
I hate it,
Sure.
thanks. I really hate this. Chatty.
He's a bro.
Bro.
Chat mentioned calling him Chatty.
He's a green bro.
He is chatty.
He's
now chatty.
All right, so
One of these days, one of my goals is to have body pillow in the shop.
We're gonna make it happen one day. Trust me.
It's gonna happen one day.
It's
the goal for all of it. I'm
just
making have body pillows made.
Yes, we're gonna have all the body pillows. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, we have. So thanks to all our friends. We also have our friend Cutie Chained in chat who makes wonderful chainmail dice bags. You can go check out her Etsy and. It's under Cutie Chained. If she wants, she could post the link to her Etsy so that can be there, and people can look at all of her wonderful product that she makes. Because I'm going to buy one day, and I'm going to have my dice protected by chainmail. And speaking of, we have birthdays. Because that's a
birthdays.
note. That's a note on my thing. We have birthdays, so we have a birthday coming up for Cutie Chained. So happy birthday to you, and then happy birthday to you, bro. Your birthday's at, like, the end of the week, bro.
Bro, it's on Thursday.
It's on Thursday, bro. Which means we're gonna yell at you on Friday.
Oh, no!
And we're gonna yell at you on Monday, too.
That's fine.
So you're gonna get twice the birthday yelling. And I'm not
I'm
sorry
okay
for
with
it,
that.
because I told Jesus.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
So,
But because of you, I get to have some West tea on Friday as well.
That's right.
And Alistair tea on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Unless the Grayson tea comes in.
I mean, I was surprised at how fast they were shipping. Totally not sponsored, but we wish we were. By Adagio Teas, where I made the custom tea blends for that Lynn is enjoying right now for birthday.
They're amazing.
Birthday.
Yes,
Here, actually,
birthday.
for the squad that's in the Alistair thing, I'll actually post it.
Yeah. So see, if you're in the Alistair Discord, you're gonna get a link to the Alistair tea that I made for Lynn.
Yes.
Yes, it's very his signature orange ginger oolong that I made very meticulously with a custom blend thing that they do. I'm good at selling stuff.
You're great. You're doing great.
Words are my best asset.
Doing great. Sweetie.
I'm a writer.
I was gonna say you.
I'm good at words and stuff. All right.
Anyway.
So Druids.
We're gonna talk about Druids today, y'all.
What's the deal? What are Druids?
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Vic.
Yeah, what's up?
When someone says the word druid, what do you think of?
I'm gonna be honest. When I think druid, I think of like the actual old school like Celtic druid.
Okay.
Like that's the first thing that comes to mind is like going all the way to Ireland. Basically, is where my brain goes.
Quoting chat: shitty, druggy hippies who hide in the forest.
Hide in the forest.
I mean,
how
that's correct.
Dare you character at what he just did?
That's exactly what they do. Thank you. Yeah, and as Cutie Chain said, druids can be orcs. Druids can be a multitude of things at once, and we're gonna definitely dive into that. But I'm gonna throw out the idea. I'm gonna throw out there the whole my experience, especially because I like to write fantasy stuff, so I'm always doing like weird searches on Wikipedia, and one of those being druid, and druids are essentially a high-ranking professional class in ancient Celtic culture. So that's where that comes from.
Lame.
I know, so lame. History lesson who came here for that.
It's funny when you mentioned earlier about like, you know, when you hear the word druid, what do you think? And all that's going through my head right now is the dance sequence of the druids from Outlander.
Yeah, that's basically where my brain goes. I think of the old
what is
Celtic, from Outlander, like when she's I don't know if anyone saw it, where she's like in the like by the stones, and they're all dancing around with like torches, and like there's like this like mysterious music going on. That's what goes through Tabitha's head when she thinks of druids. So that's one thing. What do you think of when you hear druid, Lynn?
Pretty much what we were discussing earlier, which was you know, just the recluse in the woods kind of guy. Usually smells pretty bad or is old and like is out of touch with reality, kind of.
That's true. That's Which usually
that's pretty much what I think of. I think of the hermit, basically.
Yeah, that's essentially the background that I see most commonly used for druids a lot.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna at myself real quick and say that's 100% the background that I used for my druid that I'm building for a future campaign.
Yeah. So I actually Googled what the definition of the druid was, and it just kind of gave you it just kind of gave me like the priest or magician in the ancient Celtic religion. But it also has the use of the word druid over time.
Yeah.
Okay. Super high in the 1800s. Ooh. Then it goes down a little, then it spikes up again in the 1850s, and then it just gradually goes down, and then it just shoots back up in 2010.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, because from doing my own, minimal Google search that I do for this live stream, Druid was actually the Druid, as it says in first edition, it was picked up as a subclass of cleric actually. So it wasn't officially a class by itself, but it was just a subclass in the original edition. And then it wasn't until I think it says let's see, it was presented as a player class in Eldritch Wizardry in a supplement in 1976 is what it shows. And what I love about this is because it going into like the older editions, and so there was like different mechanics for different things. If you were a druid, you had to be of a true neutral alignment in the first edition.
Interesting.
And what?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, wouldn't you say? Thank you, chat mom. So it says
yeah, it's interesting.
So it says originally druids were very limited in their choice of weapons and armor. They're not able to wear any metal armor and only permitted a few weapons, though that did include the scimitar and the crossbow. So they were true. Yes.
Why couldn't they wear metal?
Because it's not vegan.
That's a mechanic still to this day.
Oh yeah, that is still a mechanic. They're not proficient in
I know because as a person who plays a druid in our campaign, I cannot carry metal shields.
That's right. You can't.
I find it weird though, because druids are all about like nature and like metal. That's tech. It can be like it's just shaped.
It is a manufactured. It's a nature that was taken and manufactured by man. I would say is what it is. I mean, I get into the whole specifics of it because I mean you got Avatar, which was all about manipulating the four elements and then finding offsets of those four elements, and there was such a thing as metal bending. So technically, it was a form of nature.
Yeah.
But I don't know mechanics. I'm gonna say. Do you want to be a druid and carry a metal shield? Multi-class.
Just instead of metal, just have everything made of stone and just make it difficult for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Lord.
Doing his druid powers. Druids, nature. They're doing a thing. Yeah, so it says they were able to cast spells more times per day than the magic user and at a faster speed than clerics. They also had both access to both healing and attack spells. Essentially, they were in many ways different. They were in many ways in between the cleric and the magic user in function and use, with different special abilities. They were also a set of societal rules governing druidic life as well as higher level abilities. In order to reach some of the higher levels, players had to defeat a higher level druid in combat. So we're on Highlander rules here.
Yeah, pretty much. Just the most natural form of druid.
Yes.
So Hannah mentioned in chat, back on the subject about the metal.
Yeah.
It's also fairy connections could be blamed on that too.
Oh yeah, because connection to the Feywild and Fey, and iron was considered bad for fairy folk, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be metal shape. Yeah, that's true. Because whenever you wild shape, you either choose to burst out of your clothes in full nude, or you choose to have them shift with you into your new form. So.
I say all nude all the way.
I know, Lynn.
Shifting clothes is just.
So okay,
that's no fun.
It's no fun. So I have a question for you. So when when you're a druid, Addie Bosser shifts into a deer.
Yep. Yes.
This is my deer.
Yep.
Point to me on the deer how he wears his pants.
Okay, hold on. Where did my pen go?
How does he pants?
He pants like this.
Like this. Okay.
Yes. He pants like that.
He pants like that.
Yes.
He don't pants like that.
No. to be honest, the pants just come off.
Fair.
Fair. Pants are over here. Actually, they're probably like, well, they slide off of him.
Oh dear.
He's beer.
He's a beer. He's a God damn it. Alright, so
He's a beer.
we have Tadpole saying my druid is a Kenku, so she's already a Borb. So no clothes needed, only Borb.
Only burb.
Only Burb.
I was actually thinking about that the other day, like animal like races that turn into other animals. Just it's just amusing.
That's a question for our chat mom because she plays a Loxodon druid in our Sacred World campaign. So you want to talk about that, Tab? About being an animal person that also wild shapes? What's that? What is your thoughts on that? As I'm gonna go ahead and draw Oreo.
I mean, like how it was in the beginning when I had her as like a level, wow, what, level 2, level 3 we started at?
Yeah. Do I want to save this? I'm gonna save this because I like it.
The way I played that off was with her being in the very beginning, being a very, very new to druid powers and whatnot. Lost my train of thought.
So I mean, she is a character that is essentially from Ravnica, so she's from an entirely different plane of existence.
It was all new to her overall.
Yeah, so she was. I mean, with how it is in Ravnica, the magic system was entirely different, and then she gets transported to the the Inner Seas for the Pathfinder for our game. But
with her being totally new to it, the way how I had it was when she would wild shape into another animal, she'd have a hard time getting certain features right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
I don't know if you could somehow recreate the first time she ever turned into a horse. But it was like a mix of horse body, human teeth.
That's right. No, wait.
And floppy elephant ears for the ears.
So because Aurea was not at all familiar with wild shaping, so she could never get some of the features right. Watch me draw a horse very well. This is how horses look, obviously.
Yeah, it was it's like terrifying.
It's like those memes of like the poorly taxidermied animals.
It's I think we initially got the joke from What We Do in the Shadows because you have the vampire who could shapeshift, and they're like, he can never get the face right. And it was just like making fun of the old Renaissance paintings where people draw the cats with human faces because they don't know how to draw a fucking cat.
Yeah. Or like a lion who has like a human face, and you're like, they've never seen a lion before.
They've never seen a lion in their life. Yeah, so you just have like a horse that's just like. That's essentially what we got going on here.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Nightmare fuel.
It's like
everybody
it is a nightmare.
Like, this would be so great if. Can you imagine what would have happened if we ran into bandits or something like that?
Bro, you're so funny. Oh god.
Thank you.
Those poor bandits.
That's an actual creature in D&D too.
I know it is. Yeah, so that is always interesting when you're playing a race that's not essentially like default, human or human looking, and I guess it just kind of gives you a different mindset entirely. I want to draw Kenku now because Kenkus are cute. I love Kenkus.
But yeah, it just became a thing that she could basically. She started getting better at. I will say, she's not a druid that entirely relies on her wild shape either. I know that is like what? With her circle, she is one that relies more on spells.
Yeah, she relies, from what I've seen, Aurea doesn't usually utilize wild shape a lot. She relies more on using her actual spells to like...
But then again, it all falls on what type of circle she is. Because you can sit there and say, well, I mean, that can also segue in if anybody wants to talk about the different circles of...
Oh yeah, so yeah, we'll talk about the different circles. Because I was going to draw another baddie, because going off on druids that aren't technically human, I wanted to draw a baddie boy for a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
One of our... friends on Discord, that being of Rosette, has a really good one that I'm going to try to draw. Because I know you drew him before for a thing, and he
Yep.
was super cute.
I was so proud of that.
Tadpole mentioned, sadly, Oculus is a moon druid, so she has to, so I use the elemental stat block while concentrating and soaking up damage.
That good elemental wild shape, though. I really want. Oh yeah, we can talk about the other non-human druid that we have going on in our Horn of the Dragon Queen campaign, Roxy Fox, which I'm going to publicly shame Jesus right now because he's going to be listening to this later while he edits it to put it on YouTube. But you should totally be here right now to talk about your Turtle druid because he's super cool.
Talk about the boy. I'll draw Roxy real fast.
Yeah, draw Roxy.
I just recently drew Roxy, so I'll draw him again.
Alright, let me draw this Pickwick boy.
Let me. But yeah, like I don't know. I just think it's just kind of funny when there's clearly like animal based races changing into other animals. I don't know. I just find it amusing.
Yeah, it's very amusing. It's like, that bird just turned into a cat or something like that.
You made a rhyme.
I am very good with words, obviously. I did that intentionally.
Wait, we gotta make sure I'm on the right layer. Layer check.
Layer check, bro.
Ah.
Move this orb over.
I was gonna say you put the bird right in the middle of the canvas.
I'm sorry. I'll put the bird over here. Is that okay? Should I make the bird?
Yes, it is acceptable.
But yeah.
There we go.
So if you guys want to just discuss subclasses,
circles,
i.e. the different circles in this sense.
Yeah. So, I have a list. I have a note on here. What are John's thoughts on druids? We have to know about John's thoughts.
So okay, so my husband John, he does not play D&D whatsoever. He does not play any type of RPG. He doesn't play like the closest he gets to games is like Mario Kart. Like that's about it. Like he's a cool kid. He is secondhand at everything D&D, and I was explaining to him what druids are. I went into the depth of like, hey, this is like what they're usually played as. They like they can be in tribes or they can be solitary, and like the different circles and what they do. And I explained my druid, and his response was, "That sounds neat."
This has been John's opinion.
I honestly, I really want to like catch him when he's actually at home one day and just be like, John, just come over here.
John.
Real time. Just because it's nice having an outside opinion.
Yes.
From someone who has no idea what I'm talking about.
From somebody who leads a normal life.
Yes.
Doesn't think about
a life.
Their characters that they create every second of the day. What's that like?
To have free time.
To have free time to like think about nothing. Think about normal things like taxes and bills, and that's a weird looking hand.
Like, John, I can't hang out right now. I have to plan an entire druidic ritualistic festival. Sorry, dear.
I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. I need to write the specific stats for the drugs my druid is about to give another druid.
Hey. There was a purpose to them. It worked out great.
It did.
For anyone who is confused and not in the loop of this, our two druids did a little one-shot adventure where they went to a druid ritual festival thing. And they got high as balls.
They tripped balls.
But the good kind. They had a good time.
Yeah, I rolled for it and it was a good trip, apparently.
Remember when the druid poisoned a harmless bard?
Remember when
that was stated in chat.
When the druid poisoned a harmless bard? Oh, from the other one-shot adventure.
He did not poison him at all. He told him exactly what was happening. Like, hey, if you do this,
you're gonna trip
this
balls.
is what'll happen. He didn't say that. He just said this will help you see better.
I mean, it did. It certainly did.
Yeah. It's the same stuff. Kind of.
What would it be like?
I'm not doing good at... I'm not doing good at Roxy right now,
Aw.
so I'm just gonna like.
He's being stubborn old man.
He is being a stubborn old man. It's actually my hands.
Aw.
My hands are just like, you know what? Today is not a thing to do today.
Oh no.
So, but anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
I kind of want to play a campaign where it's like all druids. I wonder what that would be like.
Druids. Oh, Druid Squad.
Like a whole druid squad going out to like save Mother Earth from some cataclysmic something.
Would they all be from the same tribe, or would they
No,
all just kind of like find each other and
I
be like,
think
"Hey, we gotta
yeah.
use our powers"?
Yeah,
Power Rangers.
I think it would be fun to like pick druids from like different tribes so that you can like have like this entire blend of different cultures and customs that happen through different druid tribes. Like you can all be from the same realm, but like you know just like have that like leave it up to the player to decide what kind of culture they grew up in. Like
That
what
would be fun.
yeah, like have like a druid tribe from like the middle of the forest, like in the mountains, like very Nordic style, like what you have for Adiposer and his tribe. Have like we have Roxy Fox, who is a druid, but he's a sailor, so a lot of his his druidness comes from like sea life, and it's very aquatic and nautical, which I find super neat and fun. Because usually
Yeah.
the standard druid is at least like the standard druid. It's basically the wandering forest hermit.
Yeah. That's why I liked putting my druid in the snow.
Yeah,
Because for
those are
some
really
reason,
fascinating.
like for some reason, I always think of like druids just being in the deep woods, the ancient woods.
The ancient deep woods where they have a house made of sticks and bird poop on their head all the time.
Like, nah, Addie's tribe is, they do their thing. They
I
have
mean,
oh, like
I'm sure there's very practical uses for bird poop somewhere.
I spent so much time writing out all of the rules of his tribe and making sure he stuck with it.
But did you have fun?
I did.
That's what matters.
Just like, damn it.
I think that's probably the most fun when it comes to building a druid is you get the ability to kind of like oh, he looks so peaceful. It looks like he's actually happy.
There,
No,
fixed
never
it.
mind. No, he's not. He's never happy.
No.
Yeah, no. Like I think that's which I think I'll have fun with when I get a chance to play a druid is working with the DM to essentially build the world that my druid comes from, which I have a whole thing that I'm writing down for it, and it's gonna be really, really crazy.
I really enjoy world building, like society building, I guess.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
necessarily
society
the
building,
world,
like,
but
yeah. All the different like unique customs, cultures, and stuff you can come up with.
Yes, that is my favorite.
Just take something weird and just run with it into the woods. Just make a whole little town of halflings that murder people.
Hey, we don't talk about that, okay?
Oh, whatever happens, pitter patter stays in pitter patter.
Yes, essentially. Grumpy.
That will murder me if I don't draw all of these freckles on him.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
So, let me see if we can stick to our notes. We'll try.
Well, yeah.
Where are we at?
Let's certainly try. We mentioned John's thoughts. We can talk about different druid circles now, or do we want to digress and talk about specifics when it comes to making a character and commissioning a character with an artist?
Do you have something you need to say, Vic?
I'm stressed.
Okay. This is gonna be Vic's stress corner.
It is an artist PSA.
Artist PSA.
Artist PSA. So here's the thing. This is just gonna be some vague venting here. Whenever I'm gonna say, and it's just to give you guys an idea and to help you out in the future, to help other artists out in the future. When you commission someone for artwork, please make sure that you give the artist exactly everything they need visually to create this character. Please make sure that you, like for instance, you just tell them, "Hey, I want a, I don't know, draw me a draw me an orc paladin or something like that." And then they come to you with an orc paladin, but you're like, no, that's not what I wanted the body to look like. Well, you need to tell the artist what you want the body to look like. You need to tell them what the color palette is that they're using. You got to tell them any like minute details like scarring or eye color or um, you know, like what kind of expression they're making, and just little. The more you tell an artist, the happier you and the artist are going to be when that commission is completed. Because if you just kind of have a vague back and forth, people get frustrated.
I will say for the most part, people will give you those details. For the most part, like,
For the most part.
like
I'm
from
unfortunately not
from
at the
my
most part right now.
yeah. Usually, if people are super excited, they'll give you literally every detail you could they'll give you their blood type if they could, probably.
Please give me all of your character information. Give me your character's social security number for all I care. Like, please.
Like everything I need, please. Give me their horoscope.
That actually helps me very
honestly,
well.
that'd be kind of dope.
That actually does help me a lot when it comes to drawing out a character. If you tell me their horoscope, I immediately know what kind of person I'm drawing.
Yeah. I usually ask for
I always remember
their personality. I usually ask like what's their personality, like how do they act with their party members, because that'll give me an idea of like how they're standing. Yeah, I just say I use it to influence how their posture is and how they're like carrying themselves.
That makes sense.
So they're like, oh, he's the cocky a-hole of the group, and I'm like, I know exactly what stance to do that. Or if he's the broody one, I know exactly which one to do for that one.
Ooh, that's not
So is that Tadpole?
Tadpole, where at?
Asking if characters have birthdays?
I, for one, your characters have birthdays? West, I have yet to figure that out. I don't even know what his horoscope is, but I do love it when people give me a character where they know their birthday and horoscope, because it just helps me figure out that character and how to draw them.
So we've done a little one shot, the AU one shot, where they're in a modern setting, and I think we did have a huge birthday discussion.
Yeah, we did, because it was like I have no idea what West's birthday would be, because
so you kept true.
Like, because in his canon setting, he wouldn't know, like, at all.
I don't think I ever figured out Grayson's exact birthday, but he is a Scorpio.
Of course he is.
I mean, naturally
he's a Scorpio.
I don't know what my druid would be.
He seems like
he's probably
in my mind.
You think so?
I'm feeling it a little. If my sister was here, she would completely correct me on that, because she's like the horoscopes.
I'd say that my characters would probably have a horoscope, but not a set birthday, because same. any campaign I've ever played in, their months and how time worked was not, was different. Like the last campaign I played in, the days of the week were 10 days instead of 7. So we had to keep in mind of that, and it was weird.
Yeah, for once in the Horde of the Dragon Queen, I'm actually keeping track with a calendar, and it's kind of it's a little stressful for me, but it also helps me out a lot, because I'm like going through the campaign and I'm like, oh crap, what day are we on? And then I just like look through and I'm like, y'all have only been on an adventure for less than a month. That still astounds me.
Yeah, so that's another fun thing for like druids, like days of the week and seasons and how they work.
Having that druid that just always knows when it's midsummer, just it's time.
Yep. It is time.
Just like a change of the wind. It is time. I must go.
Yeah. With Addie's tribe, they usually keep track of the solstices,
Yeah. I mean,
but
that's something I
that's
actually like to
about
do
as
myself.
that's something that like I just thought it would be fun, and uh, their belief on like why the days are longer or shorter, and what they need to do as druids to fix it. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, as somebody who kind of acknowledges the solstices and equinoxes by
Mhm.
looking at it on a candle and then lighting a candle, like looking at it on the calendar and then lighting a candle. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is that time, and then I do nothing.
I I don't pay attention to like the solstices and stuff, but
Like, I'll know when
like
it's like
I
when it's Mabon or if it's
yeah, for sure. I'll be like, "Oh, hey, it's this." But I usually pay attention to the moon.
yeah.
Like, "Oh, it's
That would be
full
fun.
moon's out.
That would be
We're
fun
all
as
gonna."
a Circle of Moon Druid to be keeping track of moon
Yeah.
phases.
To be like, "Is it a full moon? Because you're acting like a jackass."
Talk
Also, another
about
thing I enjoy
ludicrous.
doing is reading clouds is like one of my favorite things
Oh,
to do.
reading clouds? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so it's I completely forgot what it's called, but you can actually like look at the clouds and it'll kind of give you like an idea of how your day is gonna go.
Oh, interesting.
What's
Oh,
funny
it's
is
super
there.
cool.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
No, I was gonna say what's funny. There's a druid spell that's like that too.
There's a druid spell where you can make
Cloud
clouds.
riding.
Cloud writing. Okay,
Yeah,
that's neat.
I need it. Yeah,
Wood texture.
but yeah, I like looking at the clouds and just being like, oh, like it's like there's no clouds today, so it's gonna be like a pretty easy going day. Or if there's like a bunch of like, if it's like a gray sky, it's gonna be like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of shit going on. But it's gonna be calm, I can handle it, but if there's, like, a bunch of, like, sporadic clouds, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, that reminds me like in the days of old when I would like stand outside waiting for the bus to go to school and I would look up at the sky and there would be like these giant clouds just like moving across the sky and they look like Viking longships and I'm like today's gonna suck.
Oh.
It's just like the general mood I had. I'm like, oh, today's gonna suck. All right, yeah. So I guess druid circles. So I guess going into because I do not know what I feel bad that I don't know what Pickwick's circle is. I feel like I was told, but then I just didn't retain that information, and I feel bad. So yeah, going into druid circles and how that influences, I guess, your character design when it comes to building a druid. Like we have, well, we'll use Fox for example. Fox is a circle of the shepherd, which I know that was a. I thought that was an interesting choice that Jesus made for his character, but at the same time, it makes sense for how he plays them out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, especially with Spud.
No, it was
And Spud. I'll put Spud here.
Spud.
Tadpole mentioned
Spud.
that Pickwick's was shepherd. They think.
Pickwick's was shepherd too. Oh, that's
I
awesome.
believe so as well. Yeah.
Aw, shepherd buddies.
Spud.
Good old Spud. But yeah, I love well, I guess when we talk about Fox as a design though, like he is not, I guess, what you would expect a druid to look like when you're thinking of just like a stereotypical Dungeons and Dragons druid. The only green he has on him is literally his skin.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's just dressed like an old sailor, which I think is a really neat character concept. But then again, Fox kind of is a little bit different because Fox wasn't originally supposed to be a druid. Because he was an NPC in the Sacred World game, and he was working more as like an artificer NPC. And then when I introduced the idea of running a campaign for Jesus to play in, he's like, "Oh, cool, let me grab a character." And then he just grabs Fox, and he's like, "And I'm gonna play Druid." So Fox got swapped over to Druid. So he kept all of the sailor and all that backstory and aesthetic, but then he just completely swapped classes over. Which I think it's cool to have a sailor druid because you're constantly in your element.
Yeah, for sure.
So
That'd be fun.
You're always communing with the sea life and all that.
I saved this, by the way, so we need to
cool.
erase it.
Okay,
yeah.
Bet I'll erase it. Druids.
But yeah, I think it's fun when your character class, not your character class, your circle influences how you look.
So
I think that's fun.
So, I'm gonna just write down the circles.
Circles.
I'll write down circles. So we got Druid circles.
You are not your
you only
class.
get-
Your mechanics
you
shouldn't
only get-
affect your story.
You only get two circle options in the player's handbook.
You do. You either get land or you get moon. But then you have
Yep.
like so many other ones. So you got like Circle of Shepherd. You have
Twilight.
Circle of Twilight. I think is still an unearthed arcana, so it's not like officially in a module yet, which sucks for me because I have to look for everything online, so I can't find it in an actual module. Like you got let me look up
Dreams.
Circle of Dreams. That's one.
That's Rocco.
That's good old Rocco.
Well, the reason I made him a Circle of Dreams druid is because he is so zesty, so he can just be like, I'm the druid of your dreams.
Oh, God.
Literally the only reason I made him a dream druid. But
that's amazing. That'd be nice if he literally picked his circle just for that. I mean, if you had the choice to pick your circle in life, I feel like that's how he would do it.
Oh, for sure.
But now
Spores, that's right.
Land, dreams, spores, shepherd, twilight, moon, land. Did we say land? Yeah, we said land.
Twilight and spores. Look at all them good classes. Yeah.
Oh, wildfire is in the UA.
Oh, really?
Ooh, I've never heard of that one.
Google that one.
Yeah.
Chat mom, Google it.
Circle of Wildfire?
Yeah, that sounds cool. I want to hear about that one. So what?
I wonder if it's something akin to wild magic.
That would be so cool.
Oh,
so
Lord.
My question is, and for anybody who wants to answer it, whether in stream or in chat, when it comes to building your druid, do you have an idea of what your druid looks like first before you decide what the what your circle is?
Oh, no, this is something... Okay.
What's that?
Totally wrong. Circle of Wildfire are druids who are members of this, who understand the necessity of destruction, such as how a forest fire promotes growth. These druids bond with a primal spirit that harbors destructive tendencies, allowing the druids to use their power to create controlled flames that help flora and fauna reproduce and grow.
So, it's very similar to spores, kind of.
So when they say wildfire, they mean literal fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And of course, like, with their levels in magic, for 3rd level, they get locate animal or plants and scourging ray. 5th level, they get fireball and plant growth. 7th, aura of life and fire shield. And 9th, flame strike and raise dead.
Yes, so...
Sorry.
No. Circle of Wildfire.
Yes.
And, you know, I think my favorite thing about...
I'm gonna erase it.
Oh, ha, I got it.
Nobody's appreciating my joke.
I'm on fire.
I think my favorite thing about, like, the druid circles is that they all just kind of blend in together.
Yeah.
Because I was not expecting our 2 druids to get along. Because they are kind of the polar opposites.
I am 100% with Tadpole here. I vibrate wildly until I gain an epiphany. That's exactly how I make a character. That's exactly to a T how I make a character. I just sit there and I go, character idea.
Duh!
It just like slaps me in the face.
I literally just pull it out of my ass most of the time. Literally everything I do, I think.
This is exactly what my character epiphanies look like.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Yes. Why is Jesus messaging me? That's gonna show up in the video later. How dare he? Oh, he bought Jesus just bought a
I will say
t-shirt.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, I knew my druid's circle before I made his
Oh
design.
yeah, I'm gonna draw Addie because I like Addie's design. What are you drawing?
He's a mess. I am drawing the newest druid.
Oh yes, draw that druid. I'm gonna draw Addie up here. Yeah, so I would say, I mean, funny enough, I mean, it's under the circumstance that this falls under the exception because we made Zephyr first as a character for an AU before we actually brought him into actual D&D canon. So he was a character before he actually was picked for a class. So, and then I was just like, I'm gonna make this guy a druid because he's a farmer, because that made sense to me. Because I was like, oh, he's just like this, cute little farmer that, takes care of rabbits and cultivates the land. That's a very druid thing to do. And so I ended up just, having just standard druid as his class. And then when I started building him more as a character, I don't know what drew me to Circle of Twilight. There was something about it where I think it was just my overall need to just you know, break tropes as I always like to do because I'm annoying like that. And because I think somebody made the joke that Circle of Twilight is just you're just a druid but with edge, and I'm like, no. I'm gonna make the
You're
least edgy druid possible.
You're like, bet.
I'm gonna make the softest boy, and then I did.
If I'm not mistaken, it was because he was a tiefling, and everyone was like, "Oh, tieflings are like destruction and stuff," and you're like, "Ha, no."
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, yeah, he's a tiefling, and tieflings are destructive and fire, and I was like, wrong.
He's blue.
He's a blue tiefling because I gotta keep fighting for my blue tieflings. I like how laid back Addie always looks. Like that's probably like my favorite thing about his character.
It's because he's on drugs usually.
Yeah, he's like drugging out. Wait, hold on. I gotta draw him when he shorts out later. I'm gonna do that in a sec. That's our
Hold on one second.
That's our new favorite thing to do with Addie. I don't want to draw his phylactery.
Ooh, having our protector Asimar cultist warlock.
What?
Thank you, Tadpole.
Ooh.
See you, Tadpole.
Alright, I'm going to grab lunch with my sister.
Alright, enjoy your lunch. Have
enjoy
fun.
your drug up hippies.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read through chat real quick. I like having a story first before I decide what class to go. Who cares about tropes or stereotypes? Yes, exactly. Do whatever you want. Yeah, do whatever's fun. That's usually what I always go for. Just do whatever you think is fun.
You don't play D&D to have fun. You play D&D to hurt.
I play D&D for the hard math, obviously.
But yes.
I need you to know that I'm drawing Addie's fur ruff because I refuse to draw the phylactery.
You're doing his what?
I'm drawing his fur ruff because I refuse to draw the phylactery.
Oh, that's fine. To be fair though, it's better.
It's tinier now.
It's tinier. It's more.
Wes could get along with the fact that they have the same fashion choices.
Oh yeah, for sure. The big fur.
The big old fur ruff and just loose pants and no shirt. It's a good look. I think War Mother also shares the same look too, and I respect that. They should just all hang out.
Man, you made him a beefcake.
Oh, whoops. I'll slim him down in a sec. That's my
No,
standard.
he's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, well, he kind of is. He's not as like super thin as Grayson is.
I'm
gonna argue
Mm-hmm.
that it's the baby weight. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Because Addie went to Daddy.
Addie went to Daddy.
Addie went to Daddy. That's right. Because you had him had a kid recently. And there's that.
He did.
I just default like to draw earrings on people for some reason.
He doesn't have earrings, weirdly enough.
So weird. It's just my default state. I'm just always drawing earrings.
He can have earrings if you want him to.
No, I have to be accurate to your character. Thank you. These are the details you need to tell artists before we just do whatever we want.
Well, I just told you, so there you go. You're welcome.
Just tell me, thank you.
But yeah, he's my only character that doesn't have any like piercings.
I have to ask, what possessed you to create Addie as a character? As we talk about druids.
Honestly, it was because I thought druids were the most boring class.
And you created an entire system for them now.
Yes. Well, the only characters I had were my paladin and Grayson, and I was like, you know what, I want to make a new guy, and I had an idea of a druid, but he was actually going to be undead, and just because I wanted to do something different. And Addie was originally going to be an undead, and I drew him out to where like his original story was that he was actually a cleric that got into like an accident, kind of like something happened to where he died, and his cleric friends who had been messing around with necromancy brought him back.
Whoopsies.
But only half of him came back to normal.
I remember we were concepting this.
Yes. And so that was his original concept, was that he was going to be an undead. That was like he didn't know who he was. That's like his whole thing. He was trying to figure out like who he was as a person before he died, and like all this other stuff. And then I walked away from it for a long time, and then I saw a image from Mystery Skulls, one of my favorite bands, and it was a picture of one of the characters. It was the one who, I forgot his name. It's the one who has like the metal arm. Yeah. I keep forgetting his name, but it was a picture of him, and his arm was like torn off, and then like his face was like split in half.
Oh shit.
And like, oh yeah, well, it wasn't split in half, but like half of it was like possessed and half of it was like not.
Right.
And I was like, that's super dope. So I just kind of like I kind of drew something kind of based off of that, and then it just turned into this guy. Slowly. And then, you know, he has a phylactery now, and like a whole thing with that. Tripping balls.
Tripping balls right now. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
That good mush.
Yeah. But I was reading up on the Circle of Spores, and they were actually talking about how like Circle of Spores, they believe in death, and he was actually supposed to be like super morbid, but he's really not. Not anymore. He was. But the reason he is green is because he is
that's a green I can work with.
Yeah. He's a half elf. And he's green because he has a symbiotic relationship with bioluminescent mushrooms and mold.
And mold. He loves that mold. Talk to him about cheese every day.
Oh, he loves cheese because it has like the mold in it. But yeah, so that's why he's green. Because everyone's like, oh, he's a half orc. And I'm like, no, he's not.
He's not a half orc. He's just green.
It's just green, and people are like, you can't be green. I'm like, bet.
Internet.
Oh no! Don't tell me we're losing internet. I hope it's just your computer.
I hope so too. Checking it right now. So we'll talk to Lynn.
I'm talking to Lynn. I see Lynn painting and drawing and all that good stuff.
I am here.
Nope, it was just my computer.
Oh, it was just your computer? That's a relief. Scared the heck out of me.
Heckin'.
God heckin' dang it. Blonde boy.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's
my green boy.
Your little green boy.
But yeah, his phylactery thing is just for extra drama.
I always wonder how that would play out if you like played him in a campaign, and what the parameters the DM would do with that.
Like in an actual campaign with a well, he started out where his goal, because he's Circle of Spores, he believes that like death is like the path to life. like to make room for new life, you have to die. Things have to die.
Yeah.
And that was his whole thing, was that because he is a walking phylactery for a lich that he doesn't know, he can't die. And that really messes with him. Yeah, he does not like that. So his like grand journey was basically to find this person and kill them or something, and
Yeah,
finally
purpose.
go back to the earth or whatever.
Please God, let me
But
die.
now, essentially, yeah, he's like, please. He's like, I need, like, he needs to complete the circuit or else he'll go nuts.
You're right.
But because we've been playing him like in kind of like a text RP situation, his life has turned completely around.
Yeah, he was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so it's very sweet.
I like him.
But anyway, I do too. He's turned into a really fun character for me to play.
I love like the difference that you can see with him when he's in public, like away from his tribe, and then when you see him actually in his tribe and in his element, it's just such a fun difference to look at.
He's a lot more laid back and relaxed.
Yeah.
Especially if he's speaking Druidic, because he understands it. He can't read Common.
That's so, I still think that's cute.
Yeah, he can't read Common at all. He can speak a little bit, well, not a little bit. He can speak Common, but
he can speak Common. He speaks Elvish, I think you said.
Yeah, he speaks Elvish, and Druidic is his natural tongue, so he's going to be more confident speaking and more laid back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that little one shot we did.
That was so much fun. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like,
so
like,
it was
the next solstice.
When's the next one?
When's the next one?
I want you to know I pulled all of that out of my ass.
That I'm so proud of you. That was a lot
Thank
of fun.
Thank you. I mean, I had my rules on how things worked, but like for the most part.
Yeah, which means I have to build my own system going on for Zephyr and his druid circle, which is you don't hear much of because he as a character walked away from it for a long time and then came back to it. And it's like, oh shit, I actually have to be responsible and do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. And like I find it interesting that like I'm researching like just different druids and like how they're played, and some people are like, oh, like their druid has zero connection with any other druids. Like
let me pull up the Reddit article that I found, or the Reddit thread.
Yeah.
From our Dungeons and Dragons.
Like I find it interesting because it's usually just such a very definite split between they do not like speak with a tribe or anything. They're completely solitary, or they're very dependent on their tribe. I tried to mix it.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite druid incarnations that I made, it was a collaboration between me and Tabitha, and this was a character that Tabitha was considering playing at one point. We made a Furbolg druid who his name was Indigo.
Oh,
and he
Indigo.
was like, Indigo was this kind of like that drug, like the drugged out hippie college kid that you'd run into on campus that would just be.
I'm a New Age philosophy major.
Yeah, I'm a New Age philosophy major. So, like, if you need help studying, I'm the guy to go to.
Vic, I think he deserves to go to Fort Bro.
He's thinking, Fort Bro sounds like a really great place to be. I'd love to be Fort Bro. Like, he would talk like that. It was so great. He
needs to be part of the brotherhood.
Yes, he did. That just made me a thing.
Our Bard Ranger a jar of bees.
That was great. I made a stat block because my Bard Ranger was just egging me on to have a jar of bees as an item that they can utilize in combat. So I made a stat block for a jar of bees, and he was the person that you'd have to go to find it. So he shows up in the middle of the woods, and they're like, what do you have for sale? And he's like, I don't know, man, let me check in my bag. And he's just like going through, and like he pulls out, like he goes through and you hear like this angry buzzing in the bag, and he pulls it out and it's a jar of bees, and my ranger bard just lost her mind.
Bees,
just
bro.
like, how much is it? It's like something just to put back in the bag. And he was like, I guess he like took like a piece of her hair and just smelled it and put it in the bag, and that was it.
I mean, as you do.
As you do. Like, this guy was just like high as balls, like all the time. That was like literally his character note, just high as balls. Alright, so going through the Reddit thread that I have pulled up on how to make a druid interesting. So it says, I've been wanting to play a druid as my next PC, as I do, but I don't know how to make one interesting. I know I could probably make him a little bit crazy, like Radagast, copyright. But I just wanted to, I'm just wanting to play a serious character. What's a way to make an interesting, chaotic, good, or neutral druid?
We don't believe in alignments at this table.
There is no such thing as
First
alignments
off,
at this table. First rule of alignments: there are no, just like birds, they don't exist.
Nope.
Don't exist. Alright, and first comment I see on here, I mean, this is a really hopping thread. You've got the top comment with only 13 upvotes, so...
Well, you know.
Yeah, you know, Reddit. Let's see, a lot of people run their druids like paladin hippies. Interesting take.
I can get behind that.
Which I think is really lame. Well, you're lame. It really all depends on how you want to build your character. And they've linked an article by Goblin Punch about some fun stuff on druids, and it's just like a whole thing about 7 myths everyone believes about druids. And it's just like this whole editorial, and it just like has pictures of like wolves and stuff. Like, this person really put their heart and soul in it.
Well, good for them.
Right? I'm like, oh, I'm just like enjoying all these pictures of wolves, and I'm like, oh, look at all the dogs. It's like, myth 1, druids hate fire. That's a lie, because we wrote a whole thing where druids were screaming at a bonfire, and that was fun.
Yeah, they don't hate fire. Fire is good.
Somebody just had a really odd idea, but I'm here for it all of a sudden. An executive druid who makes money to buy and preserve forest land.
That's awesome.
A civilized druid. That's technically almost falling in line with my druid, because he's more domesticated, if anything.
Yeah.
He technically owns his own plot of land that he cares and cultivates as a farmer. I'm pretty sure he's on the
land, bro.
I guarantee you he's probably on the agriculture board in his town. Like, I guarantee you.
Oh, for sure.
He's like sitting there in the meetings like, yes, I have a question about something.
Oh, here's one I would like to share with the class.
Okay, what do you want to share with the class?
Okay, this is from EN World. I don't know.
Okay.
But it says the biggest problem with the way people play druids in D&D is that they have the idea of the class as some sort of pseudo-medieval conservationalist or animal rights activist.
Huh.
In my view, this is pretty lame, basically. What you want to do is make a character who views different species of creatures in the same way that a human would view different nations or tribes. It is exactly as okay to kill animals as it is to kill people.
Yeah, I agree. Druids are they're all about, the natural order of things. I have my druid who's Circle of Twilight, which means you rever the natural order of life, going from birth to death. So, circle of life. He raises rabbits, and he loves his rabbits, but he has his rabbits that he raises as pets, but then he also has rabbits that he raises for meat that he sells in the market. So, it's just kind of that practicality that comes with it. As I draw Addy short-circuiting on his phylactery real quick.
That's his flaw. Again, character flaws are fun, fam.
Love me some character flaws.
You're doing the
I am. You're welcome.
God.
Let me draw his little...
Yay.
He's shorting out on his phylactery. It's the one time Tabitha is not looking at the screen.
What?
Punch him right in the pacemaker.
Oh my god.
Punch him right in... Sometimes best friends punch other friends in the pacemaker.
I love that.
That was such a fun character moment. Poor Addie.
I love her. I love her so much.
You love who? This druid that you were speaking of.
I actually don't have a design for her.
No?
I have not made her yet.
We should make
Oh,
her.
well, I've described her, but I've never actually drawn her.
We should make her. Like, we should build her up. And then draw
We
a
should.
couple other
It'd be fun.
druids. Let's
I'll
see.
have to like reread my notes on what I think I remember her like basic details. But
oh, here we go.
yeah.
I think somebody took a little bit from your book on this post. To make a druid interesting, living as an outlander on the northern ice-covered section of the continent.
On the what? I can't hear you.
On living as an outlander on the northern ice-covered section of the continent.
Yeah.
Let's see, their druid is Lyrael. I can't say things. Long ago, given up on depending on anyone, he was self-sufficient, and that's how he liked it. Without the hum of the city clouding his ears, without the dust kicked up from horses and men on the road, without the frequent shouts of someone trying to sell him something, out here he was in paradise, and yet he was on the hunt. And there's like a whole like paragraph going in on living in the tundra, basically. Like using the tundra as like your domain for the land circle, I would say.
Yeah. My druid, that guy, the one who is only wearing fur and is mostly shirtless.
Yes.
All the time. He's from up north where it's constantly snowing, almost. But he's able to wear that just because of the situation with his ocean being on fire and providing like warmth and stuff. It's a whole thing.
I would argue that the farther north you are, the more I guess the more used to the cold you are, because I have known people that live in Connecticut and it's like minus like 15 degrees and they'll just walk outside in shorts and flip-flops, and I'm like, how the fuck?
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like that's Addie.
Oh, for sure.
It's
like he's always just barefoot and just kind of like crunching around in the snow. Like he's just like, whatever. He will get cold.
I mean, yeah, just not as cold as people with more blood flow than him.
Yeah. Also, he has some resistances for, not having a heart.
that aw.
He I can't go into too much of that. Yeah, I can't. Not gonna go too much into his situation that he has going on. Let's see.
Draw a war mama, because that's a fun druid design to me. Like just making like an entire like taking druids and then just like you build the tribe, then you have like all your different circles within the tribes, and like having like an entire community based around it, which I think is always fun. Which our friend Cutie Chain has a whole druidic system going on in Dungeons and Dragons game that she runs for another group, where she has the big baddie War Mother as like this conquering druid that's like going through and like wanting to essentially just take everything for herself because she does what she wants. So let me kind of draw based off. I'm just drawing based off memory at this point.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like drawing the society and how the druids act with each other is like probably my favorite thing.
I think she's got like mega rough going on from what I last saw.
And don't forget all her dots. Yeah, there you go.
I got it. I got you.
Perfect.
Yes. Which I've never drawn War Mother, so this is like my first time drawing War Mother.
I've drawn her once.
That's more times than I've had. She's just conquering this whole screen right now. Holy crap. Yeah, it's about what I got. So what else?
Needs more tattoos.
Needs so much more tattoos.
Needs more tattoos.
Needs
so
more tattoos.
have you started designing your druid tribe?
My druid tribe? I actually have not. The closest I had to starting to the design for my druid tribe was when I designed Zipper's grandfather, who is just this old fertile like arch druid who basically protects the gateway to the Feywild. So I'm thinking of basing his circle around related to the Feywild in a way.
That would be super cool.
I know. I think that'd be really cool because like when I think Circle of Twilight, I think of like sparkly, starry nights and like shit like that. Like in my dice that I'm looking at because I have like these purple dice that like sparkle and glitter, and I'm like, it's like Twilight.
It's like Twilight.
It's like Twilight. It's almost like it's like my favorite. Oh god damn, that happened so fast. Draw her out.
So,
yes.
The timeless body feat. Well, it's not really a feat. It's just something that happens.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens to druids.
So it says at 18th level, the primal magic that you wield causes you to age more slowly. For every 10 years that you pass, your body ages only 1 year.
Yep.
Holy crap.
We did the numbers.
Oria's gonna be old.
We did the numbers on Oria because Loxodons live to be 450 years old.
She's gonna live to 4,500 years, y'all.
Yeah, she's gonna live 4,500 years.
Woof.
She's gonna be around for a long ass time. Like, that's
cool. That means that she can survive long enough to be able to look at Nico Bolas and just
call him a
flip
bitch.
him off. Yeah, and call him a bitch there.
Looks Nico Bolas in the eye and just calls him a bitch. Like, you don't fucking scare me.
So I wonder, like, yeah. I wonder, like, druids, they uphold the natural order of things. Like, how does that make them feel? Them aging slower.
Yeah, especially as a Circle of Twilight, and then you have Circle of Spores. Oh god, Addie ever hits that level.
Right.
Like,
he'll just be miserable, honestly.
Oh, poor Addie.
I mean,
he just taps out at 17th level.
And he's just like, I'm out, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take a dirt nap.
I'm gonna go take
forever.
a big sleep, guys. He's like, oh my god, I now know who Addie reminds me of. So do you remember this old ancient movie that I don't think anybody's ever heard of called Hocus Pocus?
Oh god, I know exactly.
God fucking damn it!
He reminds me of Billy Bones.
God damn it!
I love that so much.
Guy that he got brought back from the dead and he was just like so fucking tired. He's like, I just want to sleep, guys.
No, I'm mad because you just made me have an epiphany / realization and I'm kind of mad.
Don't tell me you had a crush on Billy.
I think I did.
I hate you so much. Wow. Clearly we have a type.
I will throw my phone.
Dead things?
Miserable dead things.
God.
Miserable dead things.
I know
it's funny though. He's not that miserable.
Say what?
I said Eddie's not miserable right now.
At the moment.
He has a new lease on life, so he's very confused.
I realized I just gave her like a super like saber-tooth looking ruff going on.
I'm sorry, when you mentioned the whole thing of Addie just being like, yeah, I'm gonna take a dirt nap now.
Okay, bye.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna go take a dirt nap. Night-night, guys.
I'll just go sleep outside in the garden.
Digs himself a hole.
Yeah, pretty much. You just see a blonde tuft of hair sticking out of the ground.
The turnips are sprouting.
It's like, Addie, you good? Do you need anything? Some water?
He's 100% going to tell his son that he was planted and plucked out of the garden.
There.
Oh my gosh.
He's okay.
Addie's child is a... plot twist. Addie's kid is actually a mandrake.
Oh my god. That would be so funny. Cole just never told him.
I plucked him out of the ground.
Pulled him out of the ground.
Make this child actually think that he actually is,
I'd be so scared if I ran into War Mother.
War Mother is...
You forgot she has a gun now.
Damn.
I needed a moment to process that. I'm sorry. I forget she has gun.
She has gun now. Boomstick.
Oh, let's see. Fun fact about War Mother: she pushed herself through her circle to solely just to get the timeless body. If she's gonna fuck with people, she's gonna fuck with them forever. Oh lordy. Like, if you're gonna have a grudge with someone, she's gonna be around forever just to remind you of it.
Oh my god, okay. Someone made a Cajun druid who lives in the swamp.
I love him.
And it's like, this is not part of what they said, but I love that idea of like a Cajun druid who like hangs out with like alligators and stuff.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome. And I think they should totally be like the old school, like god, like witch doctor kind of vibe.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
That'd be sick.
All the dots, all the dots, all the dots, all the dots. All the dots, all the dots, all the dots. I'm fucking up the lines so bad. If I was doing this, like, seriously for, I mean, I take all my art seriously, but if I was doing this, like as a legit commission thing, I would actually have a brush for this. So you're like,
You're just like, give too many dots.
So many dots. I think she had some going down her arms, if I remember. I'm, like, going without reference, so I apologize greatly. So many dots. Alright, let me color her a bit. Because she's an orc, I'm gonna make her a little darker in color than Addie. So Addie's just dead.
He's not dead.
Oh, he's almost dead.
He's on the edge
He's
constantly of being dead.
Better. Not dead yet.
Like, if you guys didn't do what you did in that one shot, he probably would have died.
Aw.
I mean, he was dead.
So, if you're saying he was mad about it.
No, he was not mad about it.
Aw.
He's got to talk to Cole. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
He saw the future, because he was dead.
Must be nice. So, Addie, what's the future like?
Fire everywhere.
Yeah, Phoebus go up right next to him. Oh, so you've seen it too.
Oh no!
Phoebus, no!
What do I have as his background?
Yeah, what do you have as his, like, actual, like, legit D&D background?
Half elf. He is the Far Traveler.
Oh, ooh.
Yes, that's what that is. That basically says your foreign nature can gain you access to those curious about your homeland.
Interesting. I think I have Ziffer just as a hermit. Like, I legit just I just clicked it on D&D Beyond. Hermit.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm really not wrong. He lives on a farm, like, not by himself, but he kind of lives in his own pocket of the world that only he is comfortable with. So it's going to be fun getting him out on an adventure. I'm really excited to see how that starts out for him. Because I'm going to hand this character to Jesus, and I'm going to be like, okay, so he's a druid, but he was trained to be a druid when he was a child, but he walked away from it because, you know, I got to take care of the farm with my family. And so he just kind of stepped away from it, but now things are happening and he's realizing he needs to step back into his role as a druid and the protector of the natural order of things. Go nuts.
Go nuts.
Just go nuts. That's the worst thing I could tell my DM. I'm just like, okay, here's his backstory. The rest is up to you.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
I've given him so much power over Wes's backstory, and I'm realizing that's a mistake.
Yeah, don't do that.
I did. I made a mistake.
And his mentor was his grandfather, right?
Yes, his grandfather was his mentor as a druid, so he's the one who taught him how to speak druidic and all that.
Addie's tribe doesn't have mentors.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I pulled him up as a mentor because it's like, because he was actually his family, so falling under that whole, you know, it's like, you're my grandson, and I sense the potential of, you know, nature magic
Blah, blah,
within
blah.
you, so I'm gonna teach you how to do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want to go play with the rabbits.
I just want to play with the bunnies.
I just want to go play with the bunnies.
I just want to go play with the rabbits, George.
I hate you so much. How dare you say that in front of me? I'm offended.
I mean, you said it.
I did not say it. She said it. I think she has... No, she has gold eyes. I'm just imagining her with red eyes. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. I don't remember if she had red eyes or gold eyes, and I was like, wait. Hold on. I realized that scared the heck out of me with that.
What did I say he was? He was an Outlander. There he is.
There's War Mama.
In the original Grayson campaign,
Yeah.
Alistair was actually in it as an NPC.
Aw.
Did you know that?
I think you might
That's
have
how you
told me, but I probably forgot because my brain's weird.
But he actually learned a little bit of Druidic,
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, you told
which
me about
people freaked out about that when I mentioned that
that.
on
You can't learn Druidic.
the Facebook. You can't learn Druidic on like circumstances that he had. He learned like a couple words.
Oath of the Ancients.
Yeah, he's a paladin oath of the ancient, so he actually was imprisoned. Ali was. Alistair was. He was thrown into jail. Because of he's a dumbass.
Of course. I mean, of course.
Yeah, and it was before he swore to his paladin oath. And he actually met a druid in jail. Like, he was in the cell next to him, and the druid would like tell him stories of like the great forest and like the old gods of the forest, and like that's how he kind of like took an oath in jail with this old druid hermit.
Oh yeah.
And he learned a couple words, and so Alistair's a little bit druid in him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Oath of the Ancients, I see it. Like, makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. People are very very strict on like the people knowing or not knowing Druidic.
Yeah, it's like a Thieves' Cant almost. I mean,
Mhm.
West.
I thought okay, so
yes.
do you guys play Thieves' Cant as a spoken language, right?
In our campaign, we actually do.
Okay, because I've read that before. It's only supposed to be written, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, according to the book.
Well, okay. Well, let me correct myself. The one time that we actually worked with Thieves' Cant was when our one rogue in our party, who knew Thieves' Cant but nobody else did, wrote a note to the entire party in Thieves' Cant that nobody could read.
That couldn't read it.
Nobody could fucking read it.
That's
and
really
you
dumb.
leave it for the barbarian who can't fucking read to begin with. Explain that one to me, Jeremiah. Explain that one to me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so alright, we got War Mama, we got Daddy.
Daddy.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
What happened?
I'm sending Chat Mom to bed because now she's being ridiculous.
What was said? I need to know.
She did a tiger growl.
He's a handsome fella. Like his Hero Forge mini though.
Oh no.
Is handsome.
I mean, yeah.
Tabitha, you've seen that, right?
No, I have not actually.
Oh, God, don't show her.
Please hold.
You showed me the other one.
Which one?
Within that family.
Wait, who? Oh.
That's
Yeah.
the only
The
one
other
I've
one.
seen.
Alright.
The dad.
The dad. Yeah, that was a whole fun story arc.
I just look off to the side. The dad.
The dad.
Ugh.
He's fine.
A piece of work.
He's alright.
A
He's
piece
fine.
of work is what he is.
I can't wait till Cole sees him again.
Let's see. I'm gonna read through this Reddit thread and see if there's anything interesting in here. about making a character and making your druid interesting. There's one person that's like pick a theme and go with it, which yeah, that's always a fun thing to do. That way you have like a whole like aesthetic going on that fits your character. Let's see. Chaotic tends to give me the idea of a predatory druid. He's here to make sure that the predatory chain keeps functioning. If there's too much predators or unnatural ones, he'll go after it. If there's too much non-predators, he'll go after that, since nature's default way of solving that sometimes ends up with a broken ecosystem. Interesting.
Yeah.
Circle
That's like literally keeping the balance.
Yeah, literally keeping the balance, because ecosystem's a very delicate thing.
Yes.
Acolyte,
Addie just wants to make sure things die.
That's a mouthful. Oh, I just realized that they're just listing.
Oh.
They had a weird way of listing backgrounds, and it just read all in one sentence. So I was like, that's a really interesting druid. He's an acolyte, folk hero, guild artisan, hermit, and an outlander? Hold up.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
I think the most radical druid would seek the downfall of civilization. Ooh. Eco-terrorist druid.
Oh god.
That reminds me. I don't know why that reminded me, but I should draw Griswold. Because Griswold's the druid in our Harry Potter campaign.
Oh yeah, do that.
Fun fact, he's a Ravenclaw. He's the character note is he's never seen without his mask though.
Ooh.
So he's like always wearing, which I think is like a fun aesthetic. He's always wearing his Plague Doctor mask, which it works because it's, I don't know why I said it works, but it's like 1940s, like when the game takes place. So you have like a lot of interesting like outfit aesthetics going on for your characters.
Yes. I want to see more like Plague Doctor masks, but they're not the traditional kind, because I see that mask everywhere.
Oh yeah, I like the one. There was like a post going around where like they made like different Plague Doctor masks out of different birds. So you had like an owl one, you had the raven one, you had like a parrot one, or like a kestrel. Like I thought those were pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were actually supposed to look like birds. Like they're actually like the beak part. They actually shoved like flowers and stuff to like keep the like, so it wasn't actually supposed to be a bird, but then it just kind of changed into one. Now everyone has it.
Yeah, everyone's like, I like it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Circle of Spores druid.
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
Asking Lynn.
Probably drugs.
Dead stuff.
Of course.
He likes mushrooms, okay? It's fine.
He grows them himself. Those are his children, excuse me.
Did you happen to read any of that, by the way? Because he was explaining, like, hey, like, this is my own blend of, like, mushroom, like, concentrated, like, hallucinogen mushrooms. I had to move it from the garden so our baby wouldn't get to it.
Yeah, I caught that.
He's considerate.
Very good. That's some very good parenting right there. 10 out of 10. Yes.
God forbid if, like, you know, a family of bullets, you know, happen to walk by and get into them. God forbid that.
I kind of like how he has, like, this kind of, like, army green, like, outfit going on.
Ooh, I do like that.
So he kind of looks like, I mean, it's kind of like an infantryman kind of look, but with, like, the Plague Doctor mask. I can't remember for the life of me the reason why he doesn't want to be seen without his mask. Like, he's not scarred or anything. He's actually a very handsome man. He just doesn't like to be seen without his mask. So I'm wondering if it's like an anxiety thing for him. I'll have to have Ryan answer that question for me at some point.
Do you think the popularity of the Plague Doctor mask increased even more because of Critical Role?
No. I don't think that.
You don't think so?
Well, no, I think they kind of factored into bringing back Plague Doctor masks, like, in other things, but, like, I feel like for me, the Plague Doctor mask came back when Assassin's Creed 2 came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you had, like, you know, like, the actual Plague Doctors, and then, like, they came in with the online play, and then you actually had, like, a Plague Doctor assassin, so I think that's when all that started coming back at. Like that's in my opinion where I think it started. Because I totally did not play that Plague Doctor online.
Of course not.
Of course not. No, why would I do that? He was only the coolest looking one.
I don't know. I feel like they've always been like just super popular in general.
Yeah.
I also see like not necessarily the Plague Doctor
Also
mask, but
Steampunk
like
helped with that.
yeah, I see the mask where it's like this, like that, like the masquerade.
Oh yeah, the masquerade Carnival mask.
Yeah, I see that a lot. That
There's a
people
lot of fun
somewhat
masquerade
interchange.
masks out there. There's like a whole like I spent like hours on Pinterest looking at them.
Look at that green.
Oh, that green druids, man. Green druids. I think after I finish Griswold, we should design Winnie. Get her
Winnie,
get her
yeah,
a
we
proper
need
design going.
Winnipeg.
Plague Doctor Mask came back with the emo scene, I thought.
With the emo scene? I mean, I feel it. I feel like it also came back with the steampunk scene. Like,
yeah.
I feel that in my soul, not out of experience. At all.
Well, I think of every single time we go to Texas Renaissance Festival and you see Plague Doctor Mask.
Hey, remember when I bought you a Plague Doctor mask?
I still have one. Yes.
It's sitting in the back room, like, right now. Like,
guilty, I do have a Plague Doctor mask.
Plague Doctor mask.
I wore it for Halloween. It's full leather. I wore it for Halloween this year. And I had someone look at me and being like, how did I tell you they put it?
What did they say?
I don't know. At one of my former places of employment, it was for Halloween, and we were able to dress up, and I wore it full costume, and someone just asked me, like, you know, just walked up randomly and was like, why do you have a Plague Doctor mask and me without
because I'm waiting for the plague.
No, I was like waiting for you to die.
Waiting for you to... Jesus!
I was joking.
That would be horrifying to say to somebody wearing that mask.
Well, they were also dressed up as a cheesehead, so...
Oh, fuck them then.
So
sorry,
I had
this house,
no...
We don't stand Wisconsin, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had no qualms with that. Having family from Chicago, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot say anything about Wisconsin because I live with somebody who's from Chicago, so I'm not allowed to say anything.
Packers suck! Sorry. As much as, and I don't care much for football, so...
Like, we're gonna have, like, our one viewer from Wisconsin be like, well, fuck this stream, then. And they're just gonna leave.
To be real, y'all, I don't really... I mean... whatever sports team you want.
No, you said it. It's out there in the world now. It's on the internet forever.
As long as you know.
Jesus is gonna come at me with some notes and be like, okay, so here's my notes on your stream. You said something about Wisconsin. I need you to not do that. Like, it's just like...
No.
I don't think I described the character, huh?
No.
I'm trying to find it.
Cool, we get to describe her. Let's
No, I have no qualms with... Sports rivalries are stupid to me.
It's a thing. It's American. It's unfortunately American culture.
Yes.
There we go. We got a Griswold.
That's why when it comes to sports, the only one I really will sit and actually pay attention to is hockey.
That seems like such a Druid sport to me, since I'm going to keep it on topic of Druids.
You just go and beat the shit out of each other. I mean,
beat the shit out of each other with sticks. That should have been a game that should have been like had in the Druid circles, just like a hockey kind of game.
Jugger should have been a thing.
Yeah,
They play. Addie's tribe would do like curling.
Oh my god, curling is so much fun.
Oh my gosh,
curling is so much fun.
All right, well, as Vic mentioned earlier,
I'm banishing her to bed.
Yes.
Okay.
Away with you.
Away with you.
Away with you.
Okay.
Get thee to a nunnery. No.
This is like how it was last night when Wes looked at Oria and called her Madam.
Oh yeah, that was the weirdest thing for me. It just that actually came out of nowhere.
And I loved how I had
and I was like,
don't ever call me madam again, West.
In that moment, he knew.
She looked at him with that mother gaze, like, "Don't you dare."
In that moment, he knew he fucked up. Truly, he knew he fucked up. I'm gonna draw Oria next, while we wait to get Winnipeg started.
The only thing I wrote was that she's a human.
Okay.
And she has long brown, like kind of dreadlocked hair. And I think that's the only thing I described her as. She has very intricate hair. Because that's like her thing.
I'm gonna kind of get a basic design going here. Let me just do it a little closer so we can actually do it like a bust. We want to do the age-old thing where I sketch it, you line it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sweet. Alright, so I'm thinking... Because her druidic animal was like a raccoon, right?
She was, yeah, a raccoon.
Raccoon, okay.
Yeah, she was the raccoon. Raleigh is the hare. Rocco is the boar. Addie is the stag. And Juniper is the fuck, did I give her one?
I don't think you did. Zipper has yet to see it. If he's gonna see it.
I don't think I ever gave her one. No, I don't think I did. Because I don't think she would be the type to wild shape very often.
Yeah, no.
Like she wouldn't have like a set one because she would just change into whatever she's trying to communicate with.
Yeah, I would say as a circle of shepherd, you don't really have a set animal. You just kind of work with what is good for the moment.
Yeah.
Like story time, Fox. First session, like session 1 with Fox. He, I remember he ran into combat in the middle of a town, he was like wild shaped as a horse, and then he just like went to town like kicking the shit out of kobolds, and like he critted on one and just killed it outright. And then he just like did like an intimidation stare down as a horse, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Fox. And that's why the name of our first episode was I Am a Horse. Because it was just Fox just wrecking shit as a horse.
I love it.
Alright, so I'm thinking...
She's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his tribe is mostly made up of humans and elves and half humans, half elves. So yeah, she's a human. They all have like dark hair because blonde hair is rare where they come from.
Makes sense.
But yeah, she's fun. She's also quite feisty.
As I have witnessed in roleplay.
Yes, I love playing her. She's so much fun, and I love how she gives my character shit.
I mean, she literally punched him in the pacemaker.
Oh, it is. It's not my stream.
It's not what? Hello.
Hi.
Oh, Lynn is on the... Well, it's our stream, bro, because your name's on it. It's...
Well, it's not just mine.
It's not. No, it's hosted by Divine and Conquer. And hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so hello. We're drawing... we're talking about concepting druids as a design, like what goes into building a druid as a character. Whether it is you come up with like their circle first, or if you have the character in mind and then you pick out what they are. Just notice the Alistair comic. Yeah!
Bro!
Follow the link in the DM.
Yes!
Hey, nice! Awesome! Thanks for joining us. We are currently in the throes of designing a druid character that we were discussing from an earlier, kind of like a roleplay one-shot that we were running for druids. Druids only.
Druid only party.
Druid only. DruidCon.
It was DruidCon. Oh my god.
It was essentially DruidCon. Yeah, so we are coming up with a druid who is a circle of twilight, and her main wild shape being that of a raccoon. Oh, let's see. Hi, I was just getting caught up on the D&D Fantasy Art Mentorship Program. Notice that Lynn has signed up as a mentor. Hey, did you?
Yes, I
Look
am.
at you.
I did sign up as a mentor.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I have no
So
idea
yeah.
what that entails.
So the D&D Fantasy Art Facebook page has a mentorship where if you are looking to learn something or if you have a skill to teach, you
Okay.
can it's kind of like you could post it like your like kind of bio, I guess, and be like, "Oh, I'm good at doing this. This is what I do." And then people can seek you out and be like, "Hey, I need help doing the thing." And then like Facebook will match you guys up on Facebook Messenger,
Oh, nice.
and then they'll like be like, "Hey, like talk to your person, like let's get them talking." Like they'll try to help you like learn a skill. It's really cool.
I'm getting you a little palette going for her.
Oh, no worries.
That'll be eyes.
Life is a busy thing. We're
Yeah,
all doing crazy stuff.
We're doing so much crazy stuff.
Yeah, between me and Vic, we are. I'm surprised we're still alive.
Am I alive?
No,
I'm not.
no, it's all a simulation.
Oh god, I'm in the simulation. I took the blue pill. I'm still in the simulation.
You're still in the.
I'm
Get
still
out
in
of
the
there,
system.
man.
They gave me the option to pick the red pill or the blue pill, and I picked the blue pill because I just wanted to go back to sleep. So I'm
Ugh.
stuck in the simulation.
All I ever wanted. You know what? They say you like you put a piece of yourself into each character that you make, and
Yeah.
you know Grayson's the one that doesn't care but also cares too much,
I mean, I love
and
that about him.
Alistair is my good boy, and he's the good guy that I really want to be, but I don't have the patience for,
I mean,
and
it's a good aspiration to have. Be the
Addie is
person.
the guy.
Well, no.
Addie is the part of me who just wants to go to sleep.
He just wants the big sleep. Yeah, let's see. Oh gosh. Between my characters, I have Wes, who I play on my Friday games, that is hosted on here. He's very. He's the person I kind of want to be, who's very loud, doesn't think twice about what he's saying. He will say what's on his mind, which I never say what's on my mind because I'll just hold it in until the day I die. So I just kind of want to be a little bit more open in my feelings. So I would want. So I want to try to emulate my Barbarian West in that way. I have my Druid Ziffer, who I've yet to play in a campaign, but I'm going to play him very soon. Oh god, what do I project through Zephyr except for everything about me? He's literally. I think Zephyr is literally my mirror character, but the only difference between us is that he's gigantic in blue and has horns, and I'm not. And that's, I think, literally it.
You can do whatever you want to.
I mean, I think Zephyr, in a way, is like my self-projection of I've always secretly wanted to be a farmer living on my own plot of land, just by myself, hiding in isolation.
Yeah.
Such a dream.
Dreams. But I like the way you have her designed right now.
Thank you.
That's very good.
So I've got a color palette going on for her. So I've got like hair and eyes,
She
skin, and lips.
she looks the way we've RP'd her. She's very bubbly and excitable. But she does not take any crap from my druid
I
whatsoever.
Some of the line layers of the sketch layer.
It's
I forgot to layer check.
God.
Oh no. Sorry, bro. Oh, hello. My dog just joined me on the couch. What's up, bud? Alright, so.
Yes, I like the way she is. I'll line it real fast.
Okay, you're lining? Alright. I should draw
Did
something.
did you change the layer, or do I have to fix that?
You have to fix that because you made the draw pile. I didn't.
Oh my god.
You have to do everything for me. Please hold my hand.
Oh, I had a miscellaneous layer just for this reason.
Please hold my hand.
I wait, hold on.
Please.
Hold my hand.
Please
hold on. Hold my hand, sir.
Please hold it. Sir, please hold it, sir.
Wow, that is the best hand I've made. Just Please, please hold my hand. It looks like they're high fiving,
Bro, high five.
bro. I wish Tabitha was still on the stream. Fun fact: if you stare at somebody's elbow when you high five them, you'll never miss.
Really? That's a fun fact.
Yep.
I should wake her up right now for that fun fact.
Hey!
I would yell. Emulate the West in me.
But yeah, I love her very much. And again, when you're getting a commission done, let
Yes.
let them know your character's personality because
Yeah.
it helps a lot with
Tell
us.
me literally everything. Like, gush to me about your character, because I love listening to people gush about their characters, because it's just so much fun. Like, tell me what their personality is. Tell me what their horoscope is. Tell me, like, when their birthday is, if they have a birthday. Or, like, tell me what their favorite food is. Tell me what they, like, how they react when they get good news, or when they're in situation A or situation B. Like, that kind of stuff's always fun to know.
The best references I ever got for a commission was someone who was like, "Hey, uh, here's like a basic layout of like their personality, but here's their Pinterest." And I was like, "There we go."
I love a good Pinterest.
Chocolate mice. Oh my god.
Chocolate? What?
Chat.
I have a dragonborn bard. His favorite food is chocolate. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, my dice. I'm that nerd that leaves my dice out. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to drawing a tried and true druid. That is one of my favorites that West is 100% not angry at right now.
Who are you making over there?
I'm drawing a druid that West
Oria.
is definitely not mad at.
Oh, fair.
Because my barbarian recently got into a fight with the group druid because she said that she wanted to go home and he was offended.
I mean, do druids have a home?
Technically, because Oria's not a typical druid. She's from Ravnica. She just adopted the magic of this earth when she was transported from Ravnica to the Inner Seas. So
yeah.
So she just kind of became a druid by default. So she wasn't technically a druid in Ravnica. I guess in Ravnica everybody's a wizard technically.
Yeah, fair.
So she just kind of like made her way and realized that she was a little bit more in touch with nature and ended up becoming a druid through Obadhai and all that good stuff.
I love the way you draw like the dreads because it's so different than what I do.
What do you do for dreads?
So if I were to give Addie dreads, like he doesn't have any that are like actually like on his head, but I just make like tubes, basically like this, like little triangles, kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just end up drawing them like just like I'm drawing rope because essentially that's like what the texture always looks like to me.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Like rope or like a really like chunky kind of yarn look. I love me a chunky yarn.
Have you ever seen the blankets or whatever that are made like you knit them with your arms? Because the yarn is so thin. That's so cool.
That's like probably like one of my favorite methods of knitting is I love to like make the chunky yarn blankets. It's just there's never enough yarn for me to do it. I never have enough arm to like knit a blanket as big as I want it.
I had to teach myself how to knit. I knew how to crochet, but I never knew how to knit.
I tried to learn crochet and it just didn't stick with me, but I love knitting. Like,
bro.
I'll knit.
We need to combine powers.
So are we gonna do a knitting circle? Oh god.
The bros have a knitting circle now.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Like there's like downtime in a tavern and like just like sitting there like Alistair teaching Wes to crochet would be so cute.
Nah, bro.
It's like so what you do is you take the hook, you loop it through, and that's how you're gonna start your new lineup. Bro, I think I fucked up, and it's just like this giant like knot of yarn.
No, he's just covered in yarn.
This guy's like, bro, I need help.
And he just falls over.
Save me.
I love her hair. It's so fun.
It's one of my favorite things to do as a kid. I love drawing hair on characters. Thank you, my Lux app, for telling me that I'm waking up in 7.5 hours. I'm not. I'm not actually. My computer just tells me when my start time for waking up should be, and I'm like, sure.
That's a suggestion, thanks.
That is a suggestion.
My phone in the mornings, it'll be like, oh, so were you asleep between this time and this time? Because it like tracks your like me not looking at my phone.
No.
And it's like, were you asleep between 5 a.m. and 2 p.m.? I'm like, don't remind me.
Maybe.
I don't need you judging me, okay?
Don't patronize me.
I love this top knot. I would have never come up with that.
I have a character that I use for an original story that their hair is essentially of kind of like that natural texture. So I'm always like drawing up different like hairstyles for them. Like I've done designs for them because they're also a magic user, so they could change their hair a lot more frequently than you actually would with natural hair. So it was one of those things where it's like one week they would be wearing like their hair in dreads, and it would like all be like really cool and like intricately braided. And I had it where it was like in that little top knot on the top, and they had like their little wand in it. I had like where they had like box braids. I did where they had like kind of like the finger waves. It was like I had like a whole like
that's
list
awesome
of things for them to wear. So like their hair would be different like every week because I'm difficult like that.
There, she's cute.
It's like one of those things where like as a writer, it's cool in concept, but then you don't think about in case you ever need to visualize it, whether it be for like an animated short or for like a comic or whatever, and you're just like, motherfucker.
Yeah, like if you're making a webcomic or anything of the sort, make sure you can redraw your characters
consistently
and
all
they're
the
not
time in the same style.
Yeah, well, make sure they're not too complicated of a design.
It's very true. Don't make sure that they're like completely like bogged down and like just all this stuff that they completely just get lost in the panel.
Yeah,
or like they're just like overthrowing the panel's balance like entirely.
Yes. So, there we go. So yeah, don't make your guys overcomplicated.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not cool.
Well, if you're just getting like a character portrait, go friggin' nuts.
Yeah, for real.
Because I love drawing like super complex looking characters, like with like huge
the most complex characters just to mess with you.
Don't put it in the comic. Don't do that.
No, I won't.
Just one-offs are good for me, thanks. Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's not cool. Don't do that, dude.
Dude.
Don't do that, dude.
You know what? We need to make a certain bro of the bros.
We gonna be a bro of the bros?
You know who I'm talking about? The bro?
The bro, the ultra bro.
Yes. We need to draw him. We need to design him at some point.
Ooh! The most excellent
I think
bros.
Next week we should talk about gods and devils and like.
Hey, yeah, that could totally fall in theme with the podcast we did on Monday. We're just like we should.
Hey, you know what? We should see if Jesus is available and see if we can get him on.
Oh, I'll message him right now.
Yes, yeah. So we can be like, hey, we want to do a next week's design, like character design of the gods, the pantheon.
Where is Jesus?
Because the first time I ever played D&D ever was when I DM'd.
Oh wow, that's such a jump.
I know.
You literally
it was a power move.
Oh god.
Absolute power move on my part. And it gets better. It was a completely homebrewed game.
Oof.
Like no, I've never done a like module or anything like that. But yeah, so first time I ever played D&D, I ran it and I made my own world. Whiskey.
Oh, poor Whiskey.
Oh, goodness.
Does he want a goldfish?
he's staring at me. He wants to sit on me, and it's not gonna happen. So
No,
I'm gonna let him
Whiskey,
out.
no, you're the size of an overgrown potato. Alright, I'm saying, hey, do you have plans for next Saturday, bro?
Brusky. But yeah, so I actually made my own pantheon of gods.
Because Lynn and I want to do gods and devils for the next.
We want to talk about them. We don't want to do them. Well,
I mean, Lynn, I know your preference. I know your preference.
Nope. Nope.
No, no.
I don't know what you're
No.
talking about. No. How dare you?
Look at that eyebrow arch. No.
That's not me. That's someone else.
And who's that a projection of?
Excuse me.
I will say the one thing that I look forward to for every Horde of the Dragon Queen Monday is just hearing you in your Grayson tone going, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
That's like my favorite thing.
How dare you? I need to like I'm slowly like it's been like what 20 episodes already, and I'm just now like starting to get into Grayson's like rhythm.
I love it. I love how I love like, you know, whenever you're like you feel like you have a feel for your character, and then you like hit that stride or you hit that one arc where all of a sudden you can just step into that character and you're there.
Oh, yeah. You know what it is? I think it's like it's going to be a good RP when I can come up with some sort of gray pun before we start.
50 Shades of Grayson. I'll never forget that.
Did you notice what I named my tea? My Grayson tea?
I did not look at that. No, that I'm a very bad bro for not looking at it.
So there's a website you guys can go to where you can like make your own tea blends based off of your like characters.
Yep, I have a whole like I'll drop the link for like all the ones that I've made for Sacred World. Like,
yeah, if you guys are part of the Alistair Discord, I took pictures and put the put those in there so you guys can see what it looks like. But
yeah, so you can just there's this whole thing called Adagio Teas, and I'm gonna keep saying it's their name until they sponsor me because I love their teas so much. I could talk about them forever because I'll make like a million blends for a million different characters. I might.
we should reach out to like a couple people and see if we can get like a sponsor.
Yeah, definitely. Oh God, so. No. Google Chrome is not responding.
Yep. All right.
No, it took a crap. All right, it's done. All right, here we go.
Goodbye. But anyway,
it just didn't want to work for a minute.
Anyway, you can make your own tea blends.
Yeah.
Based off of it's really fun.
Yeah, you can just make a whole tea blend like regardless, but like a lot of people like to make blends based off of their like fandoms or their characters, and you can create like my favorite thing, which I did when I did like a whole binge where I just made like 7 different teas for Sacred World characters, and so you can get like a fandom sampler box where you get like tiny little like $5 sampler tins like with like all of the teas. So let me blends my blends.
But Grayson's tea is called One Night in Grayson.
God damn it. Oh, the Sea Devil's tea is unavailable. That's sad.
It's a good tea blend. I'm very excited to try. To have One Night in Grayson.
One Night in Grayson.
Yep. Please, many nights.
Please.
I don't know why, but I really like this when hair like that's knotted like this has the bands. I like it when they have like the bands and stuff on them.
That's so cute. I love it.
Personal preference on my part. So
it's a nice little accent, and like it adds to the character, like for sure. Oh, I go with them greens again on Druids.
Druids in their color green.
It's they're blending in with their environment. It's like rogues and blacks and grays and off blacks.
Don't even get me started.
We as artists love it when rogues wear nothing but black and dark gray.
I hate it. Thanks.
Always commission Lynn to draw a rogue that is wearing nothing but black.
No, it's like a rogue wears all black. My warlock wears all black. It's like, please.
Excuse me. My warlock wears a very bright purple coat. Thank you very much. And he's bright red.
And he's a mess.
And he's such a mess. He keeps pickles in his pocket.
Fuzzy pickles.
He loves his pickles.
No, I think I just have a problem with it just because like my outlining is really bold.
Oh yeah. That's
so
right.
if a character's has a mostly black attire, it just disappears.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like what you do to try to offset that, like whenever to combat that issue. So
my outline will be a stark black. And then I'll have like all the like intricate details like inside also outlined in straight black. But if the person's like, "Oh yeah, my character wears black," I have to pick on my color wheel either blue or red or purple. And then I just do a really, really dark blue or a really dark purple that it's not straight black. And there's like a color difference. Because if you have like a closet full of black clothing, some of them are going to be faded, and if you put them all like line them up next to each other,
right,
they're actually different colors.
Okay.
Kind of like how if you take a black Sharpie and write on like make a line on a white piece of paper and then go run that piece of paper underneath water, it's going to turn the Sharpie purple. Because it's not actually black.
Yeah.
It's purple. It's just a really dark purple.
Oh, that's a neat trick to know.
So same concept. So I'll have my outline be the straight black color, and then all the other details are just really, 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 really darks of every other color.
Hashtag goth problems when your blacks don't match.
Exactly.
The worst feeling. Does Grayson have that problem in his wardrobe?
He doesn't wear black. Everyone says he's gothic. I'm like, he is a priss. He wears purple because it's royalty and it looks pretty on him.
I mean,
honestly,
I would argue that he looks. People assume he's gothic because he kind of has that very Victorian look to him, like as a character. Like that very.
Which is
noble,
weird.
Yeah.
Which is weird because his original design was like Arabian.
Yeah.
Like his clothing style was like Arabian, but like it just kind of morphed over time, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Sure.
I said priss, but it honestly could be priss or prince.
Both. Yes. He's a prissy prince.
He's a queen.
He's a queen. Oh, honey.
He's a queen. No, he's a priss. He squeals high-pitched dog whistle screams if something bad happens. Like,
oh god.
He's okay. His original incarnation, he wasn't that bad. It just over time, it just happened. He just turned into that, and I absolutely love him.
I love it when characters like evolve in a way you just don't expect.
Oh, not at all. He was actually supposed to be like a complete a-hole, like almost villain type. And the DM that I had at the time just kept throwing sadness on him, and then he just turned into an emotional train wreck that we all know and love today.
Yeah. Love him.
Which is funny though, because I'm like, why do you guys like this guy so much? Because he's really not that great.
I mean, it's the potential of knowing that there's depth to his character. That's what I guess, drew me into him as a character.
He has so. I remember when you asked me to join, uh, Horde of the Dragon Queen. You're like, which character do you want to play? And I was like, I guess I play Grace. And you're like, yes.
I know. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, yes, Grayson.
I'm like, I guess I'll play him. He's fine.
I guess he's alright.
He's fine. He's definitely has his own everything. Perfect. Oh, here's a. What are you making him down there?
I am. Yes.
I'm really glad I changed his hair.
Me too. I really like how his hair looks now.
I do too. I'm very happy that that was the change that happened. Because
she looks so cute.
I love her. Addie, you're such an a-hole.
Punches him in the pacemaker.
She does not care.
No, she doesn't.
Oh.
Reference is gone.
Yay.
Yay, we have druids.
Druids. I'm drawing Grayson down here now because I'm inspired.
Ooh, fun question. What kind of druid would Grayson be if you played him as a druid?
He would probably with his personality now.
Yeah, with how you have him now. Like if he was ever to play a druid, like if you were just gonna completely class swap him.
Let's see, what are my options? Moon. Let me look it up.
We only wrote it down once.
I know, but we didn't have the descriptions.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
So let me research that real fast. Druid circle. So his original hair was actually like this.
Oh
like
my
he had
God.
like full on. He had full on like
That's
Yu-Gi-Oh hair. When
oh good lord, that's some
He-
some Nomura level of character design for hair.
he actually never like that was like concept stuff. But his hair actually did this for like
the middle part now.
He actually did this for like a long time. Like those were just like little antennas that he had like for bangs. But his original hairstyle was something like this.
It looked like chicken butt on the end.
Yeah,
nice.
he had the chicken butt. But yeah, that was his original hairstyle. And now it's like not that at all. Let me look at those. Give. So let's see. Wonder.
If he was to wild shape, what animal do you think he would pick?
Grayson?
Yeah.
Probably something gothic like a raven.
Of course. Because he's not gothic whatsoever.
Nope.
Don't know where that came from. What other fun druid ideas do we have?
I think the closest that Grayson would come to would be Dreams.
Aw, I like that.
Yeah.
I realized I spent this entire stream not drawing my boy once.
You need to fix that. Here, let me save this. Let me save this real fast.
It's just like Ed Grayson down there.
Hey, what's up?
He's there.
Yeah, let's end the note on Ziffer.
Aw,
Ziffer. Because Ziffer just had a beautiful little RP session. I really enjoyed that. Like
That was a lot.
I hope it was good for like character development.
I think that really greatly helped his character development because he was a character that very much needed to push his own boundaries and to step out of a comfort zone that he didn't know he was smothering himself in. So he it was like one of those things where he, being a druid, just kind of, with the idea of, yeah, I'm a druid because that was what he was trained to be, and then he just, stuck with the title but without any of the actually doing any of the things that you do as a druid. It's just I
Mhm.
ended up with, earth powers, like nature powers, and I use that just to help myself and my family on their farm. And just now he's just being 100% challenged on what the fuck what it actually means to be a druid, and like the whole like community that like goes with it. Because I think it's just he never gave himself the means to be comfortable in being a druid, because it was always, oh, I have to be there for my family because they expect things of me. Like he was a character that was making himself small for the sake of other people, and he was fine just doing that when he
Yeah.
himself needed to realize, no, I need room to grow myself. And he's just starting to realize that's a thing that he needs to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's draw my boy.
I just had I had a lot of fun with it. Like
That was so much fun. I had a lot of fun with that. Like, I was very proud of him.
I know. I honestly cannot believe he won that fight.
Me too. I
Like
was still on Skype with Jesus and everybody from Sacred World when I was in the middle of role playing for that. And then I rolled for the final attack and the damage, and I just like literally jumped up and screamed. Everyone's like, "Are you okay?"
because I told you like 2 seconds before, I'm like, this is how much HP he has left. This is you can do it. And then you were just 1 point over.
And then he did it. I'm so proud of him.
He was getting his butt kicked too.
He was seriously getting his ass kicked. He's not. I built him to not be a fighter. Like, he's not built to like be frontline anything. So he's mostly going to be, if when I play him, it's going to be very different for me as opposed to when I play West. When I play West, I just go straight for it. I'm like, big one, that one, me, hit. And I just run into it, and I rage, and I just take all the half damage because fuck it. And I'm shook because Ragnar now gave Ragnar crafted a ring for West, which has the warding bond on it. So that means West takes half damage anytime it's activated. So if West is raging, he takes half of half now.
Dang.
That's stupid. And I love it. And I'm like, Ragnar, what are you doing?
This is stupid.
This is so stupid. Alright, let's go, by the way. Yeah, so it's going to be very different for me to play Zephyr, because Zephyr is going to be more of like a buffer kind of character. He's going to be the one in the background doing like area effects and like, I'm going to buff you with the healing spell. I'm going to do a thing over there and like make the ground do shit. Like, that's going to be very different for me. Like, I actually have to think strategically, which is not what I do.
Yeah. I play Grayson like that too, because like everyone's like, oh, why don't you have like this spell, because it's like super OP for like low level
Evocation, man.
Well, everyone got on me because I didn't have Grayson learn Fireball.
That's your prerogative, whether or not you want to learn Fireball.
Well, the thing is though, because they're like, oh, it's like, it's like a super OP thing, like great for wizards at like the like starting out and stuff. Like, why didn't you pick it up? Like, because that's not what Grayson would have learned with his background.
Grayson is a little bit more practical in thinking.
He plays more into his nobility than he does his actual class,
which I think is a fun character thing to do.
Yeah, like I said, he's always like, I'm not a fighter. I'm like
a politician. Thank you.
I am a diplomat. Because that's why all of his most of his spells, like his beginning spells, are based on what he would need in that position.
Right.
Like the command spell.
I think that's probably the most fun spell that he's been using. Like that, the when he parlayed the enemy pirate ship, that was such a power
Yeah.
move, and I was so impressed. I was like, oh man, that's a hell of a use for that spell.
Yes. Because the funny thing is, though, like, during that, I actually messaged Jesus. I'm like, do you think this would work? And he's like, hell yeah, do it.
Like, fucking do it.
Yeah, it's exactly what he said.
Oh,
But
goodness.
yeah, I enjoy playing his background and his personality flaws more so than I do his actual class. Because that's not who he is.
No, and it makes him such a fun character in game when you're playing more into him as a person than actually his class.
I don't know. I think people get lost in playing their character for combat
Yeah.
instead of actually having it be like a person, which is where all the good meat is.
It's all that good story meat. Like, I think, it's always, I don't know. Because I'm always using West as an example, and I'm like, West is such an easy character to play in combat, and you're just like, I'm gonna run and hit that thing. And, like, I mean, that's just easy to do as a barbarian, and then as a barbarian, you just sometimes you feel like there's not enough roleplay, like, potential for your character, because you're like, oh, my character only cares about hitting stuff and violence, and okay, but why? Like, actually get into the meat of that. Why do they like that? Why are they the way that they are?
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of stuff. Like like last night in our Sacred World game, me and my dad as the barbarian and the fighter spent the last 30 minutes of the stream beating the shit out of each other in a bar because they were bored. Like
that's 100% a West move.
I know they were, because it was like Orc Death, who's this like kind of tough, grizzled dwarven fighter, was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna start a bar fight, and West was like, bet. And so it was just like it was probably like the funniest character moment for like the night, because they were just getting into this bar fight and they were just so evenly matched, and then it was like one of those things where they were fighting because they were bored, but they were also fighting because it was funny to them. Like, it was actually fun to them, the character. And then they got Ariel involved in it, the paladin who wanted nothing to do with it. Like, Ariel was just like standing off to the side, and Orc Death just like grabs him by the robe and pulls him in to have him block a punch that West was throwing at him, and it just got so absolutely insane.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Like little, I'm a sucker for like very minute details.
Yeah.
And I because it makes them more interesting.
For the record, Oreo was like super disappointed in us.
When is she not?
She's always disappointed.
To be honest.
But I was something that's just like, West, why?
Every time West breathes, she gets disappointed.
Fair.
But anyway, I was looking through Grayson's spells, and just to back my point, he has 1, 2, 3.
You flipping through that spell book.
He has 3 offensive spells.
I can't move it. What goddamn layer am I on? Hold on. I'm very confused right now. I'm very confused. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it up there.
Oh.
What layer am I
Yeah,
on?
he can. Wait, hold on. I can help you, fam. Hold on.
Help me, fam.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Bro, help me.
There you go.
I'm not good at things. What's happening? Oh, I got room. Nice.
Hold on.
Oh, crap. Wrong color. Oh, shit. Expand this.
Oh, shit.
God. Wow, that happened so suddenly.
There you go. Is that better?
That is much better, thank you. I don't know if I'm doing a bust or if I'm doing... I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Just have him just own the space.
He's a very big boy. Very big boy. I really like.
But yeah, so I do too. I think it turned out really nice.
Yeah, a little bit of that going.
I liked your addition to where he's like, I don't know how to take any of this off.
I mean, he wasn't put in that outfit. Like he didn't put himself in that outfit. So it's like I don't know what I'm doing.
They'll make it work.
Figure it out. There we go. That's yeah.
He's so cute. I love that little smile.
I love his little smile. It's like one of my favorite things about him. So I'm like, oh, he's so peaceful. Ah, the sketch layer's on top.
Yeah, because you made me move him, remember?
I do.
Do you need me to move him again?
Yes, please.
What do you need?
I'm on sketch layer right now, so if you can just move line above it, that'd be wonderful.
Sounds good, bro.
Yes, please, bro. Help a bro out. Yay.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. The wonders of working in Drawpile when you're not hosting.
It's fantastic, thank you.
So fantastic. I think my favorite thing about him, design-wise, is I love his eyes and I love his little smile.
You need to draw him tripping balls.
Oh.
him and Addie just standing next to each other like that.
Yeah. Saw everything that day.
He raised the sun, bro.
He raised the sun. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. My boy has come such a long way. I just love how our initial idea for Zephyr as a character was big cow person.
Because why not?
Yeah, just why not?
I was actually looking at Zevrus's very first design.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's changed a lot.
Oh yeah, right?
Aw, he's so cute.
Yeah. His cute little face. I can't wait to actually play him in a campaign. He's gonna be... Oh god, I feel like he's gonna be, like, a little bit different, but not by much. So I have a really interesting, I think, character idea for him for campaign. I'm gonna message Jesus about it later.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea. I'm, like,
of course.
Messaging him at every hour of the day.
Like, I have another small detail I need to tell you.
Jesus, I didn't tell you anything.
Like, how in depth are you gonna go with his backstory, and how much are you gonna let Jesus take? The wheel. How much of the wheel are you giving to Jesus? Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh, Jesus, Jesus. Hashtag Jesus, take the wheel. I mean, I'm definitely gonna keep. I don't know. I gotta think on like because I need to know what the state of the world is because the campaign we're gonna be playing in is gonna take place like years after the current one that we are currently playing right now. So depending on what the climate is, really determines how I'm gonna write his backstory. Like I have a base skeleton for it, but I just need to see what the actual world will be. And
yeah. Are you gonna design his entire tribe?
Yeah.
Or is he just?
I'm a little bit of a control freak like that, so I might.
These are the politics of how his tribe works.
I'm literally gonna. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'd be happy for it because it's like, hey, less work for me as a DM. Okay. So like, I'll just like have everything like in a goddamn like 4-inch
Google
binder.
Drive.
Like in a yeah, that too. I forget the youth like to use technology. I write everything down.
I wrote down all of Addie's stuff in like a note app on my phone.
Oh my god. I'm that kind of person where I need to write it down first, like physically write it down. And so I have like an actual physical notebook for my campaign notes for Horde of the Dragon Queen, and then I'll have like my side notes that I have on my phone in a note app for like things that I think of during the day. I'll just like write it down real quick where I can't fit it on my notebook because like my notebook is like very specifically organized. It's like literally by session. So like I'll have like what's gonna happen this session. I'll have my outline, and then I'll have like the recap written next to it. So like I have like a very specific way of writing my notes in the in the actual book. Like, if you open it, it's like these are the fucking writings of a madman. It's I don't know. I'm an old person, like Zephyr. I'm just secretly old. I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. Is playing a character that's like older. Like you don't get much older like adventurers in campaigns, which is why I'm always excited when my dad plays, because he's always playing like an older character. Like he has Orc Death, who's this old dwarf guy who comes from like an old adventuring party, so he has a history already, and he's just like coming in like, you goddamn kids. So much fun.
It's funny, the older I get, the more I play older characters, or characters that are like around my age or older.
Do you think it's like a self-projection thing?
I don't know. I think it's just more fun to play. Like I have no interest in playing someone who's like a teenager. I don't know why.
Which is funny because I'm having fun projecting through Xavier as a character. Because Xavier is that young, like fresh out of teens, 20-something, where he's just like now realizing the world sucks. Oh god,
It does.
I have to pay bills? What? Dad? Stress noises. Like just general and I guess it's a fun way for me to project like all of the stress that I had in my life during those years, so that's why I do it. It's a weird cathartic thing. But yeah, I find myself playing. I think West might be besides, before I made Zephyr, West was like probably like the oldest character that I made in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, because everyone was like marginally within the same age group as me. And when I made West, I made him like 33, so I'm like, that's like a little bit, like a few years ahead of me, but because we're all secretly old.
We are secretly old.
We're all secretly old. I'm gonna play like a 5,000-year-old character one day.
Oh, that'd be nuts.
Oh god. I'm most excited for the next battle royale. That'll be so much fun.
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun to watch. Let's see. So before we started this stream, I was like, oh, like I know there's some like extra druid stuff in the Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Yeah.
So I flipped it open.
Yeah, what you got?
And I found a folded piece of paper.
Uh-oh.
And I open it up. And it just says, "Mother was right about you. Shame."
What?
It was from the old campaign about Grayson.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. I was like, well,
oh,
that's gonna be ominous.
Now.
Oof.
That's awkward. I swear I did not write that note.
Just slip it in to my mailbox one day.
It's like, Lynn will never suspect.
That is one thing I miss about like playing in person with people, is like we would use props.
Yeah, I do miss that. Like it's especially been a struggle, like having to like completely change locations. So I no longer have my props, because I feel like my props were like my main thing that I was good at. Like for the first session, like for the first 2 sessions of Horde of the Dragon Queen, when I was playing in a room with physically with people, I literally built the sky castle. Like I made like a whole fucking sky castle, and like I hooked up the LED lights to it. And so when it was like time to reveal it, I was like, look at this shit. And then everyone would be like, oh wow, that's so fucking cool. Like that was like my thing. Yeah, I was super
That's
proud
awesome.
of it.
What we did, we didn't do like combat props. Like we had like terrain. Like towards the end, we had terrain.
Oh, I always suck at preparing terrain, like no matter what.
It was like there were tiles.
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't anything. And like I was the only one that had a mini, so I didn't get to use it ever.
Aww.
So we just used like D4s or something. But
oh my God,
just to kind of give us an idea. But yeah, yeah, we didn't have props for combat. We had props for RP,
That's neat.
and it was super fun. Like there was this one situation where uh we went to this area to do like a hunting contest,
Ooh.
and like depending on what you killed and how much like it's like rating was or whatever would like determine if you won or not. I don't know. But one of the characters we killed like a tiger or something that attacked us in the middle of the night, and they skinned it, and they're like, hell yeah, we're gonna go sell this at the shop like tomorrow morning. And our DM was like, all right, so you go to the shop and whatever, and you reach into your bag and you feel this, and he like pull like he gave us like this wet, like it was like it wasn't like satin, it was like kind of felt like skin kind of, I guess.
Oh god. Nobody there.
It was weird. It was like a sham, like one of those like weird like feeling things you wipe tables with. I can't
Oh, yeah.
describe it. It was a weird feeling, but like he ran it under like cold water and it was like wet.
Oh. Ooh.
And he was like, this is what you feel in your bag. So we felt it and we're like, oh, that's gross, whatever.
Nasty.
And then the character like he's like, all right, I put my tiger skin on like the table to sell it. And he's like, all right, so you put it on the table. It's not tiger skin, it's human skin.
Oh no.
Yeah, apparently the character killed a were tiger. So it was like one of the other competitors.
Bro, nobody there checked me.
Whoops.
I'm gonna have
But he looks so good.
I know. Now I have to awkwardly color
He looks
this.
No, he looks good like that. I like the sketchy look on him.
Yeah. Well, I want to color him.
You go for it.
I'm gonna try my best. It's probably not gonna work.
Wait,
I'm like, wait.
hold on. Can I like duplicate it maybe?
Me?
I can duplicate the layer. Bam.
Bam.
There. Does
I don't know if that'll help, but
I need to like separate. Hold on.
I did everything on my sketch layer. Like I did everything on the sketch layer.
Well, that's yeah.
That's unfortunate. So the most I can get is coloring his skin.
Oh, hey, that works.
So I'm just gonna color it the same color as my sketch.
There you go.
There we go. Big blue boy.
He's a handsome blue boy.
He's so handsome. He don't think it, but he handsome.
I have to roll for 0.
Oh.
He has his reasons, okay?
I know he has his reasons, and I just need you to know that through that entire thing, Zipper was 100% thinking of his brother.
Just 0 or both of them?
Well, because 0 was the one he had like the big falling out with, and
yeah,
something that greatly affected him, like literally to his psyche, that affected him greatly because it's what made him realize, oh shit, I'm doing something wrong.
Bards, man.
Fucking bards. God damn. He was like, oh shit, there's, maybe he's right. Maybe there's something up. Like, I need to, like, think about this. I need to think about how I'm going through life right now. Like, that, like, legitimately was, if I'm gonna, like, for lack of a better phrase, that was, like, his come to Jesus moment.
Oh.
So, like, the entire, like, the whole thing where it was, talking about, like, the golden bull, like, he was legitimately thinking of his brother in that moment.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I was totally not kind of vibing off of the lore of Rockadoodle.
Lynn, why did you tell me that?
You gotta bring up the sun, bro.
Did you? How dare you tell me that? I was like on a whole other level. I was like American Gods level.
Oh yeah, that no, you're right. I'm just come on.
Fair.
Like I said, I 100% like made up most of that. I was like, let's see what happens when we do this. Well, the bull was supposed to be him, obviously, or like,
that makes
like
sense.
some, yeah. It was very metaphorical, but like very easy to understand. I hope.
And this is kind of an interesting shading that's happening here.
The oopsie shading.
The oopsie shading. Oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. What the fuck is that?
What is happening? What layer are you on?
So I'm on miscellaneous because I fucked up and I put everything on my sketch layer. And so, like, what happened?
Wait, maybe should I move it? Should I move it?
It's not gonna fix it because I don't have a.
What if I hold on? What if I
draw pile doesn't have a
Oh,
on? No,
oops.
No.
Go back.
Go back.
Go back.
Go back.
I can't.
This is nightmare.
This is awful. Hold on. Wait. There we go.
Because, okay, what happened was I did everything, like I did my sketch, and then I accidentally lined over my sketch. So, the blue line and the black lines are all one
That is
layer.
the worst feeling in the world.
Like, it's all on one layer, so I'm like, I have to live with this now. So unless I just, like, kind of do that with a eraser, like, forever, I might have to do. Like, that's just unfortunate.
Don't forget his freckles.
I know, I gotta get his freckles. That's as far as I'm getting with shading.
Yeah. Yeah, super fun.
That was fun. I greatly enjoyed all of that. I'm still shocked that he managed to win a one-on-one fight.
I know.
His little freckles.
By literally the skin of his teeth.
Literally.
Yeah. You can do it, bro. And then he did.
He did it. I'm so proud of him. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this thing that I've always done, which is like a bad artist thing, but I just do it all in one layer.
Are you coloring the highlight?
No, I'm just doing the eyes. I'm just doing it all in one layer. It's like, fuck it. There we go.
Aw.
I'm gonna do like an actual, like, fully rendered art of him one day, and I'm gonna just spend like 2 hours on the eyes alone.
What?
So I just have like a very specific, like, look for his eyes.
I want to draw the druids as he saw them in his vision.
Ooh, do it. That'd be so cool.
That would be really neat.
That's gonna be gnarly.
I had like so many other things that I could have done, but I just was like, I can't. I don't have like the word capacity to describe what I want to say.
That's always the hard part, is like just trying to get the words.
Because like I can't even describe it with my words now, let alone in text.
Words are hard, bro.
Bro, that's why I was like, hey, you want to write this thing? Because I can't. Like, it sucks because I have it like visualized in my head, but I cannot verbalize it, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's. I should not say words because I'm your writer, but it's one of those things where it's like, in the moment, I am very, very terrible at verbiage when it comes to trying to speak in the moment, as I'm sure all of you can tell. I'm very, very terrible at trying to like I think it's like a legit brain thing for me where I cannot process what is in my head into actual words that I'm speaking. Like, I just cannot do it. But if you actually give me time to sit down and write it, I will write you like a whole goddamn thesis. Like I'm so much better at
It's
writing my
it's
thoughts
because
out.
you're not put on the spot.
Yeah, yeah, that's a thing. That's probably part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And God forbid if you know more than one language, then it just makes everything worse.
It really does. I know half of a language, and I'm like half the time. Like, well, I think
Half of which language?
well, I mean, fun fact. This is where I go. Fun fact. Fun fact. Technically, I mean, I don't know if it's actually a thing, but I feel like technically I did not have a first language because my parents were bilingual. My mother and my father are from Puerto Rico, but my dad's technically from Texas. Technically born in a German air base, but like United States air base in Germany. But anyway, so they essentially grew up in Puerto Rico, so they mostly spoke Spanish. Spanish was my father's first language. Spanish was my mother's second language, and so they were like having this back and forth of wanting me to know Spanish and English at the same time. So my mom would speak to me in Spanish, and then my mom and my grandma would speak to me in Spanish, and then like everyone else was speaking to me in English. So it just confused my tiny baby brain, and I would splice words together. So like words like apple, manzana, I'd be like like apzana or some shit like that. Like I could not speak actual words. Like I couldn't even speak Spanglish, and then they're like, all right, we gotta pick a language. So they stuck with English.
Oh, well, there you go.
I feel like that really set me up for success in life. Like, thank you. I can't talk now, guys. I really can't speak.
Oof.
I kind of like it. This is like a very kind of Greco style going on here with his hair.
He looks like because of like his like garb is white. It looks very like Roman or like Greek.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how it's feeling for me.
Ooh, that'd be a really cool like idea for a like druid tribe, like something Greek, old Greek based.
Oh, nice.
That would be really neat.
What locality of Greece are we picking?
Oh, I don't know.
Are we like going like Athens? Are we going Sparta? Are we going like
I'd probably say Athens, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Very sophisticated druid circle.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, quite.
So, like, if I were to have, like, a patron, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, Grayson, yes.
No, like me, not Grayson.
Okay.
If I were to hypothetically have a patron deity, I know exactly who it would be.
Who would it be?
Can you guess?
No.
It's Greek. I'll go with that.
It's a Greek. I feel like I'm pressured into wanting to do the right answer, but I know I'll probably get it wrong because there's like so many. I feel like there's like
oh yeah, you
like
probably
so
will.
So many answers. I'm like, oh,
you probably will.
Let me think. Not. I feel like it's not the sun, bro.
No. I will say I'll give you a hint. It is not Hades.
I was actually not leaning towards Hades, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's definitely not Hades.
I was surprisingly not leaning towards Hades. Oh God.
He's one of the main ones.
One of the main ones. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, you said he. Interesting. Okay. I was leaning towards almost like Dionysus.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No. Hephaestus.
Nope. You're probably not gonna guess it because you probably just don't know this about me. Poseidon.
Interesting.
So
it's funny. That was the one I was like, no, it can't be that one.
No, it definitely is.
Oh, interesting. Tell me why. Tell me why.
So I was like, man, like I don't know why. Like thinking about it, I was like, man, I'm always like drawn to water. I've always been drawn to water. Always been like water comforts me. Like if I'm having a terrible day, or if
you take like 3-hour baths. Fun fact.
I take multiple baths a day because it just calms me down, or if I'm sick, I need to be in water. If I need to do anything, I have to, like, be in water.
You are
It's
so
really bizarre.
insane.
And, I was like, "Man, I should really, like, gotta look this guy up because, like, he's, like, you know, he's Bro Sidon."
It's Bro Sidon. Oh shit.
And, I was like, "Yeah, I'll, like, read up on him and stuff." Terrible person.
Yeah, no, I was like,
Huge.
that's why I was like, no, it can't be Poseidon. Poseidon's a fucking asshole. No, I can't pick
He
Poseidon.
he absolutely is. Horrible, do not condone.
You know, no,
But
would
to
not
be
recommend.
fair, most of them were awful.
They were all kind of awful in their own ways.
So, but there's one particular story where I was like, "Oh yeah, this is my bro." Uh, it was Poseidon, uh, had to kind of, like, be immortal for a little bit, and, like, he had to help this city, like, build, like, a wall or, like, build up the city, like, he
Yeah.
had to do that as part of his job, and after he like, I think it was for, like, 10 years, like, he had to do this, like, he had to, you know, be a human and, like, help out and do this thing,
Ugh.
and at the very end of his 10 years, uh, he changed back into a god, and he got super pissed because he didn't get paid money,
Oh my god.
so he flooded the city.
After wow.
He is a
such-
petty asshole.
That was such a simple thing. Love it.
I love him very much, and he also, tied Zeus to his bed and tried to kill him.
As you do with your siblings.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, it's great. I love him."
Yeah, love him. 10 out of 10 guy. Wonderful.
Bro side, and
Bro Sidon. Oh, man.
he's an a-hole.
He's such an asshole. Oh man, now I gotta think about
Again,
what my patron is.
Again, do I have a type?
I'm not saying anything.
No, seriously. And funny enough, like, his, one of his, like, animals is, like, a horse. Just like,
going out there.
dolphins and, like, a horse. And I'm like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah, because there was like the whole story about how him and Athena were like trying to like be sponsored for Athens, and it's like, well, give us something, and it's like, all right, and he makes a fucking horse out of the water. He's like, here's your fucking gift, and they're like, that's pretty cool. And then Athena shows up with an olive tree, and they're like, that's even better. And
He's like, "You
well,
bastards."
fuck you guys.
He's
I made a horse.
he's so spiteful.
I know, it's so great. That's so terrible.
I love him.
So
I love
so
him
terrible.
best.
Oh man, now you got me thinking about who my Greek patron would be, and I always think about this because I was like, you know how in like middle school you're always separated by like the kid that's like super obsessed with ancient Egypt, or the kid that was super obsessed with ancient Greece, or the kid that was super obsessed with dinosaurs. I was like ancient Greece,
or the horses.
or the horses. I was ancient Greece. I was like between ancient Greece and dinosaurs. But I'm
I
gonna say
was-
ancient Greece because I was obsessed with dinosaurs when I was 5.
Oh god.
Like I was super obsessed
I
with
was,
dinosaurs. I was them all.
Egypt.
Egypt. Yeah, I was Greece.
I was Egypt because I loved Anubis, and I loved how he was all like, "Hey y'all, time to weigh this feather, and we're gonna see where you're gonna die. Oh crap!
Let's see where this takes us.
Hey guys, back at it again here with Anubis, and we're gonna weigh this heart against the feather of truth, and up looks like it's a little bit heavier. You guys know what that means."
Oh no! Whoops a daisy!
Pew, pew, pew,
Pulls
pew.
the lever, yeets them into hell.
Yep. Their heart gets eaten by a crocodile-headed monster.
That's so cool.
Yep. Yeah, I loved all of that. I was a weird child. I was like, I want to be an Egyptologist. I want to learn everything about Egypt, and then I was like, I want to learn.
The big old book that had like Egyptology on it and all that shit.
Yes.
Yes. That's the good stuff.
Now that I think about it, I've always been fascinated with like dead things.
I mean, that's
That's
the culture to
concerning.
start it with.
That's a little concerning. Oopsies.
You know,
And
I mean,
now I've got my Circle of Spores druid.
You're just really a spores druid.
Oh, he
that looks like a weird highlight.
looks good.
Yeah, I'll just roll with it. It's a highlight. It's intentional.
He's got some DSLs.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be embarrassed to say I don't know what the fuck that means.
It means dick sucking lips.
Thank you, I, like Ziffer, am very ignorant to a lot of phrases. So people are like, hey, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm like, I don't understand the vernacular, please help.
The amount of times in the AU where I've had to like Google or like use Urban Dictionary is sad.
Oh god, it's so sad. And then everyone's like, don't look that up. And I'll be like, I have to because I don't understand what you're saying. I now have to look it up.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know. I'm lost. Please help. There we go. That actually looks intentional now. Hey, I did it.
Dabs.
Dabbed. I dabbed in the corner.
Thank you.
Dabbed.
Mac, oh my god, Mac, what are you doing?
Is he dabbing? Mac, are you dabbing?
No, he was on his hammock and he almost flipped it.
Oh god, Mac, why are you like this, Mac?
It's because he's large.
He's so large.
He's so large.
Zipper feels your pain, Mac.
Ugh. He loves his hammock though.
It's a good hammock. There we go. I'll just roll with what I got here.
Look at those beads.
These little beads. You have me honestly thinking about my Greek patron, and it's like I feel like I'm obliged to say Bacchus or Dionysus because it's like the whole what's gender, and I'm like nah. Parties, that ain't me.
I like Hermes a lot too.
Hermes is great.
But I don't know. I've just always been.
I feel like I'd vibe with Hades. I'm gonna be the person that says I feel like I would vibe with Hades.
You'd be that guy.
I'd be that guy. I'm that guy because it's just like I literally gave you the terms and conditions. Why the fuck aren't you listening to me? All you had to do is walk straight out and not turn around, you dumbass. And look at you fucking. Oh my god. It's like I literally told you, but you're gonna treat me like I'm the asshole. Okay.
He just got dealt the bad card.
He really did. It's just like one of those things.
But he does so good at it though.
He's good at his job.
He's very good at his job, and he has
and I respect him for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, the whole thing with Persephone, and I'm like, she was literally told don't eat the fruit. Oh, okay, now you did. All right. Now I'm gonna take you home with me. Now the rules were right there on that tree.
Yeah, why don't people listen to me?
And now she scares me.
I can't read that webcomic anymore.
Oh no.
I can't because it I love it too much.
It's like it hurts so good. Kind of love it too much.
Yes, and I'm like I can't. I can only hurt myself one fandom at a time. And currently that's me catching up on My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy you got into that. I literally cannot wait for you to hit that third season and just be like, it's gonna be some good shit happening.
It hurts me. I really hope you enjoy my live updates on it.
Oh, I greatly enjoy your live updates on it.
I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this fuck? And I'm like, oh, never mind. My question got answered.
Like, who's this motherfucker? I'll literally just like be waiting and just be like, so what do you think of this guy? What do you think of this? Let's skip
Thoughts?
Thoughts, please.
I've seen many angles of him on Tumblr. Thank you.
I am subscribed to your notion that All Might reminds you of West, and that makes me so sad. Because I'm like,
just like when he was first introduced, I was like, oh, that's West.
Fair.
Like when he first started talking, I was like, that's West.
Now I'm going back to reading chat. Yes, Persephone did it on purpose. For sure. She 100% did it on purpose. Alright. I finished my boy. I saved my boy. We are like an hour over on time.
I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow, so I'm fine.
I don't either. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep, but I'm gonna be like nudged awake.
But the problem is, I'm gonna. I'm gonna be wired for like the next like hour,
Bro,
and
I'm
then I'm
right
gonna
here.
sleep probably.
Bro, I'm right here. We have
Bro.
nowhere to be tomorrow.
I know, it's gonna be fantastic.
Oh god, I'm gonna be nudged awake at like, I don't know, 11 and be like, we need to do laundry, and I'll be like, nah. Oh yes, very good. Oh, right before Hannah's birthday. So happy birthday, Hannah. Here's a picture of Zipper.
Here, have Zipper say happy birthday.
Oh yeah, let me say happy birthday. I'm gonna do it in pink because I don't know why.
Yay! You're using your piping skills.
I am.
Yep, there. It just keeps going off the page.
This is actually how I write.
My writing is atrocious.
Like, well, I have like my note taking writing, and then I have like my actual writing that I do for like if I'm expecting somebody to look at my writing.
I suck so bad at writing, and it's because I draw my letters instead of write them, from what I've been told. Like, for the most part, my writing is, like, very scribbly.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And it's very difficult to read, and sometimes I can't read it.
I have gone through old. I'm gonna go ahead and save this one. Happy birthday. And then I'll send that right on. Because my handwriting used to be like so atrocious back in the day, and then for some reason it just started getting a little bit better, and I don't know why.
Because you're writing on cakes and stuff.
That might be it. No, I would like go back to like writing 3 years ago, and I'd be like, I can't fucking read this.
Oh, so this is my writing. Like, yay!
I can read that.
Like,
Yeah.
It's okay. It's so hard for me to write. Oh.
Right.
Victor.
I mean, if I want to go full fucking name like an extra bitch. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I have to be that extra bitch that's just like, no, 2 names. 2 names, bitch.
2 names. You know, it's funny. I should have known it was you.
Yeah?
Because of my name on the packaging.
Oh, yeah?
And I was just like, I was like, this is coming from the internet. This is not from me. Like, who's doing this?
It was me.
It was me. It's kind of crazy that like hearing people shorten my name.
Oh yeah?
Like on here, or like when people write it, and then in the real world they're saying my full name, and I'm just like, wait, what? It helps me differentiate who's who. Bing. But yeah, the only reason I started doing that was because people don't know how to pronounce my name. And I just got so done with it. So I'm just like, you know what? We're just going to shorten it.
How do you pronounce it? Just
My full name?
yes.
Lindsay.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, like nobody gets that right.
I mean, I was like, that makes sense.
I get Lanisa all the time.
What the fuck?
I get Lincia.
Lindsay.
That's the most common one, or they just stutter at my name anyway, and I'm just like, it's Lindsay.
Context clues come on, you get.
Well, like my mom used to get super mad because she'd be like, "How do you spell Chelsea?" Like Chelsa.
There's like a million ways to spell Chelsea though.
They're like, you don't say Chelsea.
Yeah, okay.
You say Chelsea. I'm like, oh, my name.
I love how moms get the most offensive over names being like said wrong.
Well, like she started noticing I started just going by Lynn, like online, and like she's like, "Do you not like your name anymore?" I'm like, "No, it's because I'm so done with trying to explain it to people every single day of my life." Like, please make it stop.
I literally had the opposite answer. He's like, do you just not like your name? And I'm like, yes. I don't like it.
I hate it.
Thank you. I hate it. I'm changing it. Thank you very much. Just be lucky that I'm keeping it as an off-brand of what the original name was. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
For sure.
I don't even know if I were to rename myself what I would name myself.
You name
I'm
yourself
not
whatever
original.
the fuck you want as long as you have the money for it.
I want to be Scooter.
Scooter. Just rename yourself Scooter.
That was my first thing I thought of. Word vomit, first thing that comes out of my mouth.
I'm gonna send you a link later.
Please don't.
I will.
No.
Yeah, alright guys.
We're hitting that time where it's like, what time is it?
We're hitting that time where we're stupid.
Oh yeah, that's perfect RP time.
Perfect RP time. Excellent. Total. Perfect.
See you later, dudes.
See you later, dudes.
See you later, dudes.
Alright.
Night.